Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Bring in a Halloween special What If called, What If Kyochuu Rettou characters encounter the alien in Predator the movie. Link in the description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Prologue 01, leave the island. Third POV, in somewhere else. Huffing, he was huffing out and he was tired. Pretty tired for what he just been through and killing the rest of these Yautjas and monsters in this world, and then just stood right there and looking down at the berserker Yautja was got his right arm cut off by YN's katana weapon. Then was breathing out little bit and make him look at the berserker Yautja was breathing and keep breathing out little bit and he look up at who was holding the katana sword with samurai style. Imagine Royce's fighting berserker predator scene. After cut the head of berserker predator and make him was cough bloods out of his mouth and he start to walking toward to there by himself and then just begin to moving the other way and he was felt tired and he had a big bruises all over himself and bloods comes down from his left side of head. When was sigh little bit and make him was turn his head to look up and he saw the ship. Yes, the ship where the survivors are up there by themselves, and look up there and group of survivors were inside the ship. Mitsumi Oribe, Inu I, Chitose Naruse, Kazuhiko Kai, Ayumi Matsuoka, Amiko, Kai, and Akira that they both were in there and looked down at who was stood right there and make him raise his hand up and give them a thumb up and he smile at them. The ship was fly up and passes through the portal right away. When the specialist was walk up to the tree by himself and make him was walk up there and he sat down on the ground and make him a sigh little bit and he said, I believe it is over now. He said to himself and make him was grab the pack of cigarette box from his pants pocket and he is holding it in his hand and then he put the cigarette in his mouth and then he got the lighter in his hand and make him was flip it on and then he was light the cigarette up from his mouth. Sigh. He was sigh out little bit and make him was sigh out to the sky and he was sat there and chilling until he heard the footsteps coming here and loud footsteps came here and make turn his head to look on the right side and he saw her, his lovely female Yautja beautiful was came here, 6 feet 5 foot tall very big. Zarya and she had a hole on her left side from her stomach and broken left arm and make look at her and he said, Zarya. He said to her and she was walk up to him and sat down beside with him and he look at her who is breathing out little bit and she sat there and put her head lean against it YN's head. Zarya, growling glad you killed that bastard. She said to yep, I killed him for what he tries to kill me, you, and 6. He said to her and make her was smile up and she was grab his chin and make him turn to look at her and she pulled him into kiss little bit. When the two of them are kissing and keep kissing and they heard the movement with loud hisses and make the two of them turn their heads to look over there and saw 6 who is crawling toward to and Zarya. 6 was an female xenomorph who is crawling toward to and Zarya that the female xenomorph was got her left leg blown up and only one leg is right and make her hisses out to and she is crawling toward to and when she was closer and make her wrapped her arms around YN's neck and she put her head on the crook of his neck and was smoking the cigarette in his hand and keep smoking. Hey. He was chuckling out little bit. Well, let's just say it is finally over right now. He said to himself. Prologue 02, the beginning. Third POV, in reality's world. Carl, this one is perfect. He shout out to the other male figure who was stood right there by himself and make him was dressing combat outfit with military gear and he had a helmet with a black skull mask on that he was got his combat fingerless gloves on and his outfit was all black by himself. And it is covering his own face. When the specialist turned his head to look at Carl and give him a nod right away and make him was stop lean against on the wall and he was stood up and walked toward to the door. Carl, bring that specimen 6 to the cell. Remember that, carefully to put it inside the pole. He said to and make him was turn his head back to look at Carl and he give him a nod right away. When was walking to the door and opened it by himself and he went inside there and he saw the 2 scientists who was lying down on the ground and they both are alive when they are unconscious and make look back at the specimen 6 who was got out of the mouth. Then YN is walking toward to the specimen 6 and make him was grab the little baby xenomorph in his hand and it is screeching out in anger and tries to bite. YN shish, easy, easy. I'm not gonna hurt you. He said to the specimen 6 and patting the head slowly and make the small creature was growl with hisses little bit and purrs by YN's warm hand touch it, and YN was set the small creature inside the small pod and locked it by himself. When YN was begin to moving out by himself and he set it where the other xenomorphs really is and then YN just put it there and make sure it won't happen again. You'll also like, Carl. Good, YN very good YN now step outside and let the professionals handle it. He asked YN. After the chest bursters it is finally done and now the small baby xenomorphs are inside the pods and capturing them alive by YN. YN yes, sir. He said to Carl and make him went back in there and then other soldiers went in there and take the small xenomorphs to the cells right away by themselves. Time skip later. Back to YN. YN asterisk fucking sick bastards. He thought himself and make him was stood right there and watch the scientists and also other motherfuckers were torture the small creature, but the other thing is burn the head of small xenomorph that YN was save it and he watched these sick son of bitches just making fun at the animals. And the small xenomorph had a mark number on his forehead is 6. After it is finally done and then YN was look back at the others who were stood right there and they both just done with the creature and make YN was sigh little bit and he just heard from Carl told him. Carl, YN I want you get the pod immediately and prepare to put it inside here right now. He said to him and make YN told him. YN yes, sir. He said to him and then YN was got up from the chair and make him was walk out of the room and he went to the grab the pole and then YN turn his head to look at the small creature was hisses out to YN and make him look at the small creature. 6. And he was walk toward to her, and he just touched the head and patting in gentle hand at the creature, make the small creature was hisses out because his hand is warm to her. But Dr. Groves and Carl was saw YN did that and make the two of them are interest for what YN's doing. But they will use him or maybe test him out, and YN just get the pull already. He just stepped out of the project room and make him heard the creature was screeching and screeching out at him like, come back, my mate. And that just happened. Dot dot dot, 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 Specimen 6, Roar. Chapter 1, The Xenomorph Specimen 6. Third POV. In Specimen 6 a cell. 6 was a xenomorph, a female and she had her height was 6 feet 1 foot tall and very big also she had a tail with spikes comes from her back behind and she looks like big, but she had breasts on. Specimen 6. When 6 was got out of the chain and she was finally free and she began to move around by herself and make her was hissing out and she turned her head to look around and observe the room by herself. And she begin to climbing up like wall crawling and make her just keep moving up there and she finally on top where was she upside down and she looked down at the rest of those humans in there and studying her. Dr. Groves was there too. Dr. Groves. When the female xenomorph was look around and she noticed the lights and turned it off with her claws and tail stabbed the lights, and make the lights were blackout, and then 6 noticed the doctor was there and make her hissing out little bit. Dr. Groves. I see, so darkness is your ally. Well, send in the first test subject. He said to the others and until there was human male came inside this dark room by himself and he had no idea what's going on but until something not right and he definitely feeling it in his own head, and he was sense it. Dr. Groves, you are participating in a vital research, my friend. He said. Dr. Groves, what is this? He said to him and then he was tries to get out of this place but he can't. And he was stuck in there for a while and then the man who was tries to banging at the door and make him was tries to get out, until 6 was got her prey that she need to kill and hunt. Then she was land down on the ground and sneak at him behind and then she grabbed him the man and her tail stabbed him through his back and front of his stomach and he was screaming out in pain. Then 6 was throw the body of human down on the ground and make her was hissing out little bit and then she heard the voice. Dr. Groves, excellent and easy kill. Unmatched hostility. Unclouded by remorse. Mr. Wayland may have been right about you. He said to her and make him was turn his head to look at the other scientists and he told them. You'll also like. Dr. Groves, bring me another subject right now. He said to him, and then another man who came inside this dark room, and yep, he become six a prey, and when she was leapt and tackle at the man down on the ground, and she opened her mouth out, and then her tongue had a fangs, and she bit his brain out, her fang with tongue stabbed through at the victim's head through the back behind of his head. Dr. Groves, a structurally perfect organism, no question. He said to himself, and he looked at the others, and six again. Dr. Groves, send in another test subject armed. This should be a challenger, you, 6. He said to her, and make the xenomorph 6 was look at the armed soldier came here and holding a weapon, sort of pistol gun. Oh boy, let's see what 6 can do with this armed soldier. What seems to be problem here? What happened to the lights? He asked himself, and he can't see anything, but he heard the noise comes from somewhere, and then 6 got her chance to attack at the soldier, and she just use her claws slashing him apart often. Then she grab his shoulder and make him was got slammed down on the ground, and she use her tail stab the soldier's head and ripped his head off. Dr. Groves, impressive. Wayland was right about it, very good. He said to her, and then out of nowhere a gas sound comes from the room and hitting all over at the specimen 6 and make her knock out into unconscious. Time skip later. Back to YN. There was man who sat down on the chair by himself, and he was take his own break and make him just sat there, and he was holding the cup of coffee by himself and drinking it, and he look outside from the window, and he saw there was an jungle place and lot of these temple out there. The man had a bald head with haircut, and he was brave, and truly warrior, soldier for himself, and this man was smart, pretty smart to know what he's doing, and he is a spy. Spy who was working with the government for watching Wayland's doing, and take Wayland with his companies down for what he did to those victims. The man sent the videos to the other world about what Wayland did, something horrible at those victims. YNLN, the specialist. YN. He wasn't said anything, and he just stare outside from the window, and he hold the cigarette in his hand and make him was smoke it again. YN** this job is killing me. He said to himself. Hey, YN. She asked YN, and make him was turn his head to look at her came here, and she was an android. And yes, an android who was working in this Wayland's company, and she came here to be friend with YN. When she was sat down on the chair and make her look at him, and she asked him in question. So, did you record all everything? She asked YN, and this person was cute, but she was an android and she didn't feel to be afraid. Katya. YN, all everything, yes, all everything. He said to her and make her nod her head to YN, and she said. Katya, are you sure this is good idea when you record? She tries to said. YN, I do have a right point, Katya, these son of bitches were kidnapped some victims and using test subjects, and they were got these things came out of their chests. He said to her and make her sigh little bit, and she said. Katya, I understand, but when you are gonna report this video to the government? She asked YN, and make him was thinking, and he said. YN, it's going to be tomorrow. I promise for you that. He said to her and make him was sat there and thinking, and he asked her. YN, Katya, I know you are worrying about me, but don't worry. I'll be fine, and you have to tell me how many egg chambers of alien queens doing. He asked her, and she told YN there were 100 of them, and this isn't good, and YN doesn't like this at all, and make him was thinking about the plan. Yes. The plan to terminate these eggs around here in this secret base for what they were doing. YN, alright, Katya. I will blow this whole place down, but I need a plan to take care of it. He said to her and make her nod her head, and then she got up from the seat and she stood up and walk away. YN, He was thinking in his head, and until a voice called him out. Hey, YN, my work is done right now, can you get going out? He asked YN, and make him look at him and nod his head, and he told the man to get relax and let him doing it right away, and YN got up and drink the coffee and smoke the cigarette little bit. YN** sigh, alright, let's get this over with. He said, and make him throw the cigarette in the trash can, and he start to walking up there by himself, and make him grab his pistol gun and putting it on his gun holster. Time skip later. In Queen's cell. When YN was walk inside here, and he look around and make him saw there were bunch of eggs here and lot of 1,000 eggs that it was gas all over at them. It seems they are sleeping by themselves. YN, He said to himself. When YN turned his head to look over there, and he was sat the queen over there, and she got chained up. She is big and terrifying, her height was 25 feet 04 foot tall, very big, and it is big as hell. She is the mother. The mother of Xenomorph who create the eggs out by herself. Xenomorph Queen. Went inside the other room and make him was take a seat right away, and then he sat there and chilling and look at the Xenomorph Queen's doing. He was guard here and watching at her, but he had a perfect plan to set the bomb in this place by himself. A real freaking plan to be perfect. Chapter 2. The Outbreak of Xenomorphs. Third POV. Back to YN. He was sat there for a while on the chair and guard at the Queen of Xenomorphs. YN just mind his own business and make him was take the cigarette out and a lighter too, and make YN was lighted up on the cigarette and he was smoking it, and make him was sat on the chair and lean himself on the chair. YNTCH, this is wasting my time. It's almost time to blow this kingdom come. He said to himself, and make him was sat there and chilling little bit, and until he was thinking about what he must do, is killing the rest of these motherfuckers in here, and he already set the bombs in there and prepare for explode right now. When YN was turn his head to look over there, and he saw there was 2 bombs over there, and he planting it there for prepare to blow all everything up in here, and YN got the hacker machine, and he doesn't want them to find out about where he really is, but he tricked them. YN asterisk he, sooner I will explode this place by myself. He thought himself, and make him was already set the whole things up and prepare to blow all everything up until he heard there was a door. His opened out and make him heard one of the soldier called him. YNLN. Dr. Groves want to speak with you. He said to YN, and make him turn his head to face him, and he said, YN right now. You serious? He asked him. It was an order from Dr. Groves. Now get move it. He said to YN, and make him was sigh little bit, and he was got up from the chair and make him begin to walking out of the room, and then he start to moving out to where Dr. Groves want him to be there. When YN was walking up there by himself, where he really meet with Dr. Groves who stood there by himself, and the maniac doctor turned his head to look at YN, and he said, Dr. Groves, Mr. LN, glad you were made it. He said to YN. YN, yeah, whatever you want, doc. What is it? He asked him. Dr. Groves, I would like your help to do something for me. He said to YN. YN, okay, what is it? He asked him, and make the scientist was showing it to YN, the door, and make him was opened out, and then YN was turn his head to look over there, and it is pretty dark room right now, and when he seen this, and make him felt weird, and he turned his head to look at Dr. Groves. YN, doc, what is this? He asked him. Dr. Groves, I want you to go in there by yourself, but don't worry, everything is gonna be fine. He said to YN, and make him was turn his head to face at the front door, and then YN was walk inside. There by himself, and he can't see shit anything around here, it was too dark in here. When YN was definitely heard something else is in here, and then YN was slowly tries to take his pistol M1911 gun out and load the weapon up right away. You'll also like. When YN was load put the magazine on his pistol gun, and he was load the weapon up right away by himself. Then YN was turn his head to look around, and he got his handgun out and aiming whatever it is in here, and make sure that he doesn't want to misses out something else is here, and when he was turn his head to experience around, but until he heard there was something strange noise come here. When YN was turn his head to look over there, and he look up and saw Xenomorph. The feminine creature was hisses with screech out and jump at YN, and make him got knocked down on the ground by her. When 6 was pinned YN down on the ground, and then she was sniffing at him, sniffing the scent of someone that was looks familiar to her mate, her savior, her human mate. Then 6 was begin to nuzzling her head at YN's mask, and make her was nuzzling her head at YN's neck, and she hug him tight, and her tail goes around his leg, and make YN is surprised to seen 6 again, and yeah, he pay a visit to seen her and guard her. When YN was put his hand at 6 a face, and then he patting the head of her, and make her was purring out, and YN was chuckle little bit. YN he. I know you aren't kill me. You really remembered me. He said to her, and make her hiss out, and then he heard Dr. Groves called out. Dr. Groves, impressive, it seems 6 was interest and fallen with you, Mr. LN. he said to YN, and make him was surprised and he didn't know 6 wasn't killed. YN, you knew about this? He asked him. Dr. Groves, yes, the way you touch her and you put her back to the cell. Mr. Wayland, and I saw you did it. Very impressive that you survived from her, Mr. LN. Now please get out of the room and leave 6 here. He said to YN, and make him was sigh out little bit, and 6 let go of him and make him was got up from the ground and he sigh little bit and he put his gun back to his holster and prepared to leave. But 6 was hold YN's hand and she doesn't want him to go by himself, and make him was turn around to face 6 and he heard her hisses and that sounds like she is angry, and then he seen this and make him was put his hand on her shoulder and he said, YN, don't worry, I'll be back or you, as promise. He said to her, and make her was hiss out and YN is walk out of the room by himself, and make the xenomorph want to follow him, and he went to the door and the door closed was locked up. Then 6 was banging her arms at the door and tries to break in, and she want to get in there by herself and she need to seen her human mate. As for YN was walk out of the room and he look at the mad doctor and he told YN there will be secret in this, make YN understood, and he was walk off to somewhere and until YN grab the detonator comes from his pants pocket and he is holding it and prepare to press it down. YN boom. He said. Boom. Time skip later. 6 was heard there was an explosives comes from the queen over there and sounds like something just break loose, and make Dr. Groves asked them about what is going on right now, and then they both told him there was an explode comes from the queen's cell, something just blow up and release the queen of xenomorph out. Then other xenomorphs were break out of their own cells too, and they are begin to killing any humans in there, and this make Dr. Groves got his face in panic. Dr. Groves, excuse me, he said, and he was take his own leave right away, and then 6 was finally release out of the chain and she begin to do whatever she takes, release her sisters and her own mother too. 6. I need to release my sisters out, and mother too, but my mate. I must find him and I won't let him get killed by my sisters. She thought herself. 6 was crawling up to somewhere else in this world and she need to get there and regroup with her sisters and mother too. Back to YN. When YN was blow that place up and release the queen out from the chain, and make YN was running out to somewhere, and he went to the other room right away, and make him found himself his locker and he saw his name in there. Then YN went up there and make him opened his locker out and he grabbed his assault rifle for what he is gonna hold is XM8. When YN was grab it in his hand and then he lock and load the weapon up by himself, and then YN put his weapon back behind by himself. YN, alright, time to gear up. He said to himself, and make him was grab the body vest bulletproof by himself and put it on in his helmet too. Then YN grab the knee pad and elbow pad to putting it on, and make him was prepare for fight at those enemies and other xenomorphs too. And he will kill those whoever tries to kill him, and make promise that YN will not show them any mercy. YN, alright, time for moving out. He said to himself, and make him grab the earpiece and putting it on his ear and activating it on, and called Katya. YN, Katya, listen to me. I need you get safety somewhere, but promise me that you will wait for me to clear out everything around here. He said to her, and moving out by himself. YN, time for war. He said. Chapter 3. Xenomorphs break loose. Third POV. Back to YN. Alert. The xenomorphs are break freeze. Please, everyone must evacuate right now. All hell break looses. All everything was break looses. The xenomorphs are free to go right now, and yes, they both are fleeing to go by themselves, and they must fight with survive. The soldiers were shooting their weapons at those xenomorphs, but too many of them, and they were take those soldiers down and killed them like brutal. Imagine Army National Guards as guards scene. When YN was moving out to somewhere by himself, and he is in the secret base of this xenomorph's place, and all every xenomorphs were got out of their cells and they begin to attacking at the civilians or co-workers inside the place. Then YN was running in the hallway by himself, and make him begin to moving out to somewhere, and then YN saw one of the facehugger was grab the other male who was tries to get his face off and make him fall down on the ground and dead, until there are 2 more of them appeared. YN, son of bitch. He shout out, and he aim his gun and shoot out at the 2 facehuggers, and make the 2 creatures were blowed up, and then YN begin to moving out by himself, and the specialist was moving up to the other location that where's he really going. When the specialist was moving up there and he saw there were more xenomorphs appeared by themselves and make seen this and he was prepared to kill them. Aw shit, you've got to be kidding to me. He said to himself. When these xenomorphs appeared and make them roar with screeches out at and make raise his assault rifle and begin to shooting his weapon at those xenomorphs by himself and he was take them out. When was open firing from his assault rifle and took many xenomorphs out by himself and he was keep shooting and more shooting at these creatures and he blast their heads off with his assault rifle. Come and get some. He shout out and make him was take them down and he look up and saw one of them was crawl and he aim his rifle and shoot at one of them in the ceiling and make the creature was roar out in pain and she was fall down on the ground. Then was look all around and make sure that any more xenomorphs that he can dealing with and then is walking up to somewhere else and he start to find the person that he is gonna kill, yes. Dr. Groves, that's what his plan to doing. Katya, can you tell me where's Dr. Groves really is? I have a score settled between him and me. He said to her and he was reload the assault rifle by himself and make him begin to moving out right away. Katya. Dr. Groves went to the elevator by himself and he tries to goes for exit to the dropship. She said to that's good. I'm going to meet up there and face that cocksucker. He said to her and make him begin to moving out right away and he is going to kidnap that Dr. Groves by himself and make is gonna contact with the government about what his mission to do. Terminate Dr. Groves, and Wayland, that's what the mission that he need to do. Alright, Groves. I'm going to kill you by myself. He said to himself and make him was get up there fast as he could by himself and he need to get there and grab the doctor and take him to the cell. Time skip later. In somewhere else. Dr. Groves, get me the hell out of here. Exclamation mark 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 quote. He shout out to the android soldier who was lead Dr. Groves to the safety right away and then they both went to somewhere else by themselves and make the bastard want to survive by himself. Then they both running and keep running to somewhere else in this place and they tries to get away from these xenomorphs who were break out of their cells and they are begin to attacking at the innocent people and some coworkers too. This son of bitch doesn't care anything all about himself and yes, this is how he was going to die by someone else get the karma. When the android soldiers and Dr. Groves went to the rooftop of this building place by themselves and they both went up there already and then they both going to get the dropship right away. The five of them went there and they saw the chopper was flying here and until out of nowhere a grenade launcher shot the dropship and make it was blown up and then the dropship was losing out of control and it is falling down on the ground and blow up. Dr. Groves, what? He said in surprise but cut off by sound of gunfire comes from who was appeared here by himself and shooting his weapon at the android soldiers that he take many of them out by himself, blast their heads, and bodies too. After was kill the rest of them and make him was done with these fuckers and he look at Dr. Groves who was stood right there and surprised to seen his men were slaughtered by and then he tries to run away and make take his pistol gun out and shot Dr. Groves in kneecaps and make the bastard was screaming out in pain. When shot mad doctor who is fall down on the ground and he was walking toward to the doctor and he heard the breathing of doctor who was actually hurt and make walk up to him and he smash his pistol gun at the doctor's head. Then keep smacking and beating the bastard to death by himself, and after the doctor was knocked out into unconscious by himself and sigh little bit and he grabbed the doctor's back of coat and make him was drag the doctor to the elevator by himself and then use the earpiece call to Katya. Good new, Katya. I have the doctor. He said to her. Katya, are you gonna killed him? She asked him. Definitely it is. I'm going to do something worst for this son of bitch right here. He said to Katya and make her was sigh little bit and she asked Katya, okay, what are you gonna do with him? She asked we'll see. He said to her and then with the mad doctor who was inside the elevator and it is going down there by themselves. Time skip later. Back to 6. When 6 and other xenomorphs were break the chain out of Queen Xenomorph and she is finally released out by the daughters and yes, she want them to regroup and break her out immediately right away. Until 6 was the only one who was stood right there and she is looking for someone was special to her and yes, She is searching for her own mate by herself and then she need to see him again and she doesn't want him to be gone. 6. Where is he? I've been looking for my mate. She thought herself. When 6 was with the xenomorphs are going for their own exit but until there was someone is up there and someone who stood right there and waiting for them to came here and until 6 was take a closer and more closer and she saw him, she saw her human mate. Then 6 just surprised to seen him again and then she look at her sisters and the queen was prepared to kill YN but she was hisses out to them. 6. Stop, everyone, she said to them. Queen, what are you doing, 6? She asked her daughter. 6. This is the human that I was told you about. She said to her mother and make her look at YN and he just stood there and chilling. Queen, then tell him to move or he will die like the rest of them. She said and until 6 was look back at YN who was walking toward to them and he dragging the unconscious doctor to them. The xenomorph's sisters were surprised to seen the person that they hate him. And 6 with Queen surprised to seen that and they both didn't know how YN capture the doctor alive. When he throw the bastard to the ground where the xenomorphs really is and they turn their heads look at YN and he said. YN, he's all yours. You're welcome, he said to them and make him was walking away from here and leave the doctor who was yelled out. Dr. Groves, come back. Come back. Come back, LN. YN. YN. He shout out to YN and make the specialist was walking away from here and then the xenomorphs were circling around the mad doctor and then they begin to eating him alive. Only 6 who was surprised and impressive for what she seen YN's doing and make her got thought in her mind. 6. He's pretty impressive. She thought herself. Chapter 4, Specimen 6 Lemon. 3rd POV. Back to YN. When YN was stood right there on the rooftops building and he was looked down at the xenomorphs are fleeing to go right now, and the queen too, that they break their own time to flee off to somewhere else by themselves. Then YN was stood right there and chilling little bit and make him was grab the radio walkie-talkie by himself and he was called out to the government right away. YN, this is YNLN, sir. I report to you that Dr. Groves is dead, but Wayland is missing. I'm trying to find him and end him. He said. Very good, son. I'll send the Colonial Marines in your way, be careful. Don't get yourself killed by these things out there. He said to YN. YN, yes, sir. He said and he was turned it off right away by himself and make him was put it back to his pants pocket and he stood right there and look all around in this world, the jungle, all everything around to him was beautiful and this is Amazon jungle. But what does Wayland want to do with this place? YN just wondering out about what else is the bastard hiding and he need to know more about it. YN him, wherever he really is. I'm gonna kill him, he said to himself and make him was got up from the ground and he begin to walk off to somewhere else by himself and he need to going out to somewhere and he want to figure it out about this world and jungle. When YN was take his feet toward to where Katya really is and she should explain to YN about what is Wayland doing in this island and all she told him that it is classified but YN really want to know more about it. Then 6 was going along with her sisters and make her turn her head back to look at YN who was disappeared. Her future mate was there and she is worrying about him because she want to seen him is alright. When 6 heard the other sisters called her out right away by themselves and they told her to get moving right now and make 6 was look at them and then she turned her head back to look at YN was gone. 6. I'll find you, mate. She thought herself and make her was run along with her sisters and her mother too. Time skip later. Back to YN. YN, did you find anything else for what I asked you for? He asked Katya. Katya. Yes, this is what I am searching for the Empire of Kyochuu. She said to YN and make him was confused for what she just tell him about this, Kyochuu, and then she was take the papers out and files too. Then she is showing it to YN and make him grab it in his hand and he was opened it out and he was look at this place was called Kyochuu's Empire and make him surprise and he asked her. YN, Jesus Christ, Katya, where did you get this? He asked her. Katya. I capture the pictures in the secret base underground. She said to YN and make the specialist was surprised for what he didn't knew about this at all and then she explaining the detail of Wayland tries to do and make YN want to go down there by himself and he is going to take these motherfuckers down and killing the rest of these fuckers. You'll also like, YNIC, so what if these things will show up? He asked her. Katya, if they are showing up, and we are in middle deep trouble, we must survive from these Yautjas. They are invisible demons who hunt the humans as their prey. Only the way we can kill it, the mud, or maybe something else that we need to take them down. She said to YN, and make him was thinking, and he looked back at the female android and he said. YN, okay, sounds like good idea, but where do I found this place? He asked her. Katya, I'll show you the map where the location of Wayland's hideout, but we need to be careful about this island. There is another xenomorph was like queen, but he is a king. She said to YN, and make him heard this, and he doesn't like this at all. And he know he had to kill male xenomorphs who were tries to kill him or hurt him, and then YN will take many of them down by himself. YN, anything else? He asked her. Katya, that is all the information I have to tell you. She said to YN. YN, alright, Katya, thanks for the information. He told her and make her smile, and she told YN that we are friends, and of course, we both are, and YN just got up from the seat and make him begin to moving out by himself. When YN was reached to the other room and make him just take his combat suit off by himself, and he was put the weapons on the wall or tables, and YN was sigh little bit that he is tired for going through, fighting some xenomorphs and kill Dr. Groves for what he did to the other people in subject test as hosts. Time skip later. After YN was sleeping in the bed by himself and make him just resting on the bed until he heard there was something else came here and make YN just laying there, and he was about to reach his pistol gun, until a large hand grabbed YN's hand and make him was surprised, and he look at the thing who is here. Then the creature revealed itself as Specimen 6. YN, what the? Why you? He tries to set and make her grab his face and pulled her into kissing, and he was surprised about her doing, but her fangs was gonna bite his tongue. But she doesn't have a fangs, and she changed her fangs into tongue and she was kissing at YN when he was felt her mind though to him. 6. Mine, she thought herself. Lemon smut warning. When 6 was take the clothes off from YN and make her goes on top of him and making out with him, and the female xenomorph was fall in love with YN and she want to be with him badly, and then she was let go of him and she allowed him touch her. Then YN was look at her big breasts and it is big as hell. 6. Come on, I know you want to touch them. She grabs his hands and put them on her boobs. YN started to suck on her left boob. 6 moaned softly. 6 was pushed him on his back, unbuttoning his pants. 6. Wow, you're big. She started to lick up and down on it. 6. You like that, honey? YN nod. She started to suck on it, going deeper every up and down. YN 6. I'm about to come. She started going faster until he came down her throat. 6. You taste good. She was started to getting ready to insert it. YN 6. Are you sure you want to do this? He asked her. 6. Yes, I want you inside me. She started pushing down on it. 6 was started to bounce up and down. Her walls were closing in the end of her womb. YN Rebecca, I'm about to come. 6. Come inside me please, YN. YN came inside her and come started to check out. 6. Leave it in there for a little longer. Ending lemon. When the two of them are lying on the bed by themselves and they are sleeping, and then 6 was pulled him into hug tightly and he felt warm by her, and she looks like she is fall in love with YN because she want to be with him, make together, and she become a queen for herself. 6. Asterisk you are mine. I'll be here with you forever. She thought herself. Dot dot dot. 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 In somewhere else. When there was a big ship is heading toward to the island where it is going up there, and the spaceship was land down on the ground, and this is how the predator was get in the island. Zarya, growling. Zarya, this must be Uman's island. She said to herself. Chapter 5, Welcome to the Jungle. Third POV, in space. Dot dot dot. 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 In somewhere else. URRRGH. She was groaning and make her eyes was start to opened up right away, and then she was got her eyes tried to opened out. WW where am I? She asked herself and make her was slowly got up from the ground and she turned her head to look around and make her was surprised that she was in the beach by herself and she just remembered about the plane crashed down here. The girl was an Asian Japanese and she had a brown hat cowboy, wearing green jacket, blue skirt, and brown leather boots and this girl name is Mitsumi. Oribe Mitsumi. When she was got wake up from the coma and then she turned her head to look all around and she wasn't sure to know where she is and she was in the airplane with the students that they both were chilling right there. Then they both were having fun but until out of nowhere there was a giant bird. A giant bird was hit the front of the airplane and make the plane was losing control and turns out everything was losing control. Now the plane was crashed down on the ground and blow up right away. Only Oribe who made it alive. But she doesn't know about the others who were made it out there alive by themselves, but she wish them are gonna survive. Oribe, am I the only one who survived? She asked and then she heard a screech from up there to the sky and she doesn't know where she really is. But the thing is, mysterious island. When Oribe was begin to moving out by herself and she just start to moving out to somewhere else in this new world and then Oribe was the only one who survived from the plane was flying through the portal and it takes them to the other timeline and different universe. Oh boy, she had no idea what is in the island. Something worst, horror, and dangerous for what she was with her friends is gonna face the most dangerous monsters. Dot dot dot. 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 Back to YN. YN. He was thinking in his own mind and make YN just stood right there on the ground and he was look around and seen the jungle of this island is very big and nothing else like for what he was look all everything around here, and he didn't find anything. But there was a sound comes from the plane and he saw there was a huge plane comes from the portal and it is dropped down on the ground and blow all everything up around here. YN no one survive here. He said to himself and he went to investigate about what happened here and make YN just turn his head to look around and he saw all missing piece of planes was destroyed when it crashed down on the ground and blowed up. And nobody else survived, but YN found there were 2 dead bodies of pilots that they were killed in fires. YN damn, this is getting worse for what I thought. He said to himself and make YN was begin to moving out by himself and then YN check around and he didn't find anything and then he saw there was a foot tracks comes from the ground and he definitely saw it and make YN begin to moving up there by himself. YN must be the survivors. He said to himself. He said to himself. Katya, YN did you find anything? She asked YN. YN I think so, but looks like there is a crash site comes from the plane. He said to her and then YN told her there were survivors in this island and YN wasn't sure who that really is, and all he had to do is find out. Time skip later. In somewhere else. On the other side of the island, there was another group of survivors were finding something to eat and for something to drink for their throats. First there was Kai Kazuhiko. He has shoulder-length hair with thick, textured twists. His features are rather slim and refined with sharp eyes and jawline. He's a bit shorter and skinnier than average. He dresses in a simple button-up and jeans. His thick lashes, viridian eyes and hair makes him unique enough amongst peers. His thick lashes, viridian eyes and hair makes him unique enough amongst peers. Second, there's Kamiho Atsushi, lean and tall in stature. Atsushi sports a delinquent demeanor that coincides his style. His head is shaved with an X bladed in his hairline. Thin brows accentuated his frown and snarl he usually wears. He wears a vintage-style aviator jacket with a cream full collar. He adorns a gold chain and skinny jeans that sag low on his hips. Judging by his clothes, he pays close attention to appearance. Judging by his clothes, he pays close attention to appearance. Judging by his clothes, he pays close attention to appearance. Third there Hiroshi Suge, he was wearing white society jacket and red coloring with a shirt and pants. Third there Hiroshi Suge, he was wearing white society jacket and red coloring with a shirt and pants. Fourth came Satoshi Oda, and little overweight boy with a sweater that says, Yas, and on the top and, no, on the bottom and wears navy blue pants. Fourth came Satoshi Oda, and little overweight boy with a sweater that says, Yas, and on the top and, no, on the bottom and wears navy blue pants. Fifth, Maiwara Mami, a popular idol who attends the school, is the object of adoration by many of her male and some female classmates. Though physically and emotionally weak, and adept to any harsh wilderness. Though Mami doesn't appear to be the regular student, she stands out with pink pigtails, attire and light blue eyes. She wears a white daisy accessory in her hair, even though it is impractical in their situation. She's petite and shorter than her peers. Sixth came Miki Shirakawa, an alert girl with good hearing due to her timid nature. She is very shy, quiet girl in the group. Seventh came Naruse Chitose, and lastly came Jino Masuzu. There were 7 people in the group that were searching for something that could find themselves safe and secure. Kai, man, I'm getting thirst. Hiroshi, me too. Kamiho, shut up, your throats ain't the only ones that are dry. Miura, hey, do you think it was just us that survived? Satoshi, no, not at all, Mommy. I'm sure there are other survivors waiting around the corner. Hiroshi, what's up with you appealing to the idol at a time like this? Satoshi, that's not what I'm doing. Although in his perspective, Satoshi was not seen doing anything otaku-ish. Naruse looked down to see that the trail is full of dry dirt. She usually knows that there's a path that is made of asphalt, but this one is not. Naruse, guys, don't you notice anything strange about this island? I just assumed that. Hiroshi, hey, look. They all see a vending machine that is covered in roots on the side and is broken. And they ran into the machine. Hiroshi, Kai and Kamiho pushed the machine down, grabbed the stick as they tried to open the back side of the vending machine. But Naruse told them to stop. Naruse, hold on, wait just a minute. Who cares about who owned this vending machine? The back of the vending machine was open. They didn't care about stopping, they just wanted something to fill their energy, in a rude kinda way. Kamiho, shut up, it's a state of emergency. They all took a can, and drank it. Hiroshi, that hit the spot. Kai, only if it were cold, it would be better. Kamiho tossed Miki and Naruse a drink. Miki got one, but Naruse didn't want one. She felt disrespected when they didn't listen. Jino licked the top part of the can while it was flowing down. She looks like she was totally in love with it. Jino, it's too bad, we have to wait a place like this, right, class representative? Naruse didn't respond. Jino, hey, come over here for a sec. Jino held Miura close to her and they sat down. Naruse knows that Jino is the most disgusting woman as far as she remembers. That's one reason that why Naruse convinces Matsuoki to go with Oribe instead. Jino, phew. Glad we're able to secure ourselves with some drinks. Though we don't have any food for later. Hey, you guys, go look for some food. Kamiho, Masuzu, you really are a bitch, you know that. Hiroshi, yeah, sounds like you're forcing us to find a food. Jino, if you find me some delicious food, I'll show you guys something you like. Kai, nah, I'd rather pass. Satoshi, same here. Jino, fine then, how about I show you guys Mami's hypersensitive look instead? Miura, WY. Jino, oh, come on, they want to see that cute look when you're embarrassed, don't they? Miura, hey, couldn't you just think about telling them to go and scout for a little? Jino, don't you remember what my usual everyday self is like, because while I'm around, all you'll ever be is a scrap material, got that? Miura, why yes, ma'am. She felt down. Miura got shocked when she told her something that felt hurt as she realizes that she molested her. The way that she treated Miura made her believe that she is an evil redhead. The boys left to not get involved, so they went out to look for something, maybe find some food. Naruse saw that she was bullying Miura. She walked up to them and Miura ran close to her feeling that she is saved. Naruse, Masuzu, do you really believe that this is a perfect time bully people? Because it's certainly not. Jino, do you believe that this is a perfect time to act as a class president? They both angry until someone came from the bushes who was also from the group. It was a new eye. She had long, ashen hair pulled into a ponytail. She wearing an orange jacket, olive green shorts and running shoes. A girl from the school Wandervogel club. Anu, hey, now. I finally catch up to you guys and there's already trouble. If we're not cooperating after we've fallen into such a unique situation, then our chances of survival will decrease rapidly, you know. And since our mobile devices aren't useful in this place, either, we should help each other out, too. A little personality she showed was a general friendliness and optimism. Though that she is very energetic when it comes to playing a sport. Jinho, what the hell took you so long? Inu took she steps as she was counting. She must have been counting those numbers because as she counted 997 to 1000, she was making a landmark map. Inu, since my pace is an average of 54 centimeters, it took me about 450 meters to get here from where I was a little while ago. Since where they are is about 2.3 kilometers from where she is now with the group, she thought that this island is a pretty big one. Inu, as one would expect, only those from the Wandervogel Club are able to make a simple map like this. Jinho, a map. Inu, yeah, I'm making a landmark map. Even hikers manage to get lost into situations like this. It makes sense to do this so that we won't end up running in circles and heading back to the same place. Anyway, the class representative can clarify the data that I collected. Naruse, a little while ago, those guys who said that they didn't like this seem to have walked away. So since they aren't with us, the likelihood that this group would survive has been lowered immensely. Jinho had something to say about this. Jinho, hey, I know what you're trying to say, okay. Inu, if that case, then how about we take a majority vote after the boys come back? Jinho, shut up. Mickey, so, what do we do now? Inu, hold on for a minute. Nature calls. Naruse, wait, you're doing it now. Inu, don't worry, I'm used to it back at the Wandervogel Club. So it should be quick. Jinho, hey, Wander. Where are you running off, to? Inu, it's only natural. I'll be back soon. Jinho, she went off, didn't she? Naruse looked back at the jungle area while on the trial. She wondered that what is taking the people that left so long. She also wondered and worried about Mitsumi. Naruse, thinking if Mitsumi were to join this group, along with, I'm sure we'd be able to survive until rescue comes. Mitsumi and Ayumi, where are you two? While Inu was finding a spot to do something that's natural, she was looking for a spot so she can take a leak. She crouched down and her hands were on her knees and waiting for urinating to come. While she was waiting, she hears rustling from the bushes. She gasps, and thought that it was the boys coming back. She felt like she needed to hurry. And then she heard a hissing noise comes from the grasses. Inu, gasp. Inu sees it, her eyes were opening wide and became alarmed. She didn't like what was happening at a time like this, until she saw a dark striped lizard creeping slowly through the jungle foliage as it sees its prey. The creature rises slowly out of the bush, fully revealing itself to Inu, hissing at her. The appearance of this horrifying alien made her petrified, and let out a scream horror. The group hears the scream as it echoed. She cries for help. They ran to where she is and they stopped as they see that an animal was staring at her. It wasn't just an animal, but rather appeared to be their own separate species. They all see that Inu has witnessed an xenomorph. Naruse gasped and covered her mouth with an alarmed instead of screaming, and Inu saw the creature jump attacked at her and make the girl was dodge out of the way and she run to the others right away. When Mickey saw this and she was about to run away, but then out of nowhere another creature was appeared right away and make it jump down and attacking at her right away and she letting out her screams. The boys ran to what was going on, and they were all paralyzed with fear as they see Mickey's corpse being eaten by a xenomorphs. Now there were 3 xenomorphs snarling around Mickey's body, tearing viciously at her carcass. They watched as one of the xenomorphs lift its head up, tearing away a piece of blood-soaked shirt. Another was shaking the hiker's severed head in its jaws before dropping it to the ground. Here it was every animal for itself. The xenomorphs hopped and ducked their heads as they tortured the rest of the body into pieces. Then suddenly, 3 creatures emerged from the bushes as they also made their appearance. Hiroshi, no, this can't be happening. Kai, what are those things? He said. Satoshi was frightened when he seeing the xenomorphs killing one of their friends and slowly took a few steps back. But another creature jumps onto a fallen tree trunk behind them. He doesn't notice it. Unaware of the xenomorph's presence, he remained silent until he finally sees the raptor behind him. The creature crouches and snarls and slams into Satoshi, and takes him down. Satoshi is thrown forward, into the others, who fall like dominoes. Satoshi screams, his voice unnatural, high-pitched squeal, as the raptor flips him over and lower its jaws into him. Miura looks up, panicked. Her eyes widen at the sight of another xenomorph, this one running straight at her top speed. She buried her face in the dirt, covering her head with her hands, and the raptor's foot slams into the ground between her legs as it bounds over her and dives onto Satoshi, joining the other xenomorphs in the kill. Kai, I need to take this opportunity to escape, straight away. Kai ran quickly to avoid the attack from the velociraptors. Oribe and Matsuoka ran to the bushes as they were on their way to find out what made that scream. They thought it was Naruse's voice. Naruse, Oribe, Matsuoka. She shout out to them and make them both run to them, but then they both heard xenomorphs was hissing and snarl at them right away, and then the other survivors are stick together and they both were surrounding by the creatures, but then before they attack at them and hearing a gunshots killing xenomorphs. YN shooting his XM8 rifle at the other 5 xenomorphs in the heads, and then he shooting them in full auto and he killed the rest of them, and he was turned his head to look over there and saw there were bunch of survivors in there. And they are frightened and make YN was put his hand on his ear left side. YN this is YN I found the survivors, they are here. He said to them in the earpiece. Chapter 6, Kamiho's Death. Third POV. Back to YN. YN this is YN I found the survivors, they are here. He said to Katya. YN alright, hands up. Put all of your hands up right now. Before I'll blast your heads off. He said to them and make them were scared as shitless, and they both just raised their hands up, and then YN told them. YN don't move. He said to them and make them nod their heads, and then YN asked them in question. YN is anyone else who can speak our language? He asked them and make them nod their heads, and then he said. YN good. He said. YN are you the survivors who were got blow up from the airplane? He asked them and make them both look at each others and nod their heads, and then Naruse said. Naruse, yes, we both are, we are the survivors who survived from the airplane. She said to YN and make him was definitely confirmed it, and he walked to them and he said. YN alright, hand me over the IDS, your student IDS right now. He said to them and make them both handle the IDS Japanese to him and make him grab it in his hand, and he take a look at their names and he said. YN alright, hands down, you guys are going to be safe right now, no need to worry, so we are going to take you guys back to your homes with your families right away. He said to them and make them both sigh in relief out, and then YN take them to the other way by themselves, and they both need to be safety right now. Miura, asterisk crying Mickey, Hiroshi, and Satoshi, they're all gone. Matsuoka comforts her as she helps her calm down. Miura cried because of what happened when the raptors killed their friends. Matsuoka, it's okay, I'm right here. Kai, can someone tell me what the hell is going on, someone explain. Matsuoka, I think I do, what you all just witnessed were a pack of monsters. My mentor says that they are portrayed as being highly intelligent and capable of setting traps for their prey and communicating with other pack members. Kai, huh, he said in surprise. Oribe, if we're going to survive on an island like this until rescue comes, we'll have to hide ourselves from those dinosaurs. Kamiho, that's bullshit. No way in hell are we gonna survive at a place like this, understand? Kai, you shut the fuck up. This isn't her fault, and it certainly has nothing to do with her, got it? Naruse, why are you being such a harsh guy, huh? Kamiho, what did you say? Matsuoka, just shut it. Okay, we're gonna lose our stamina if we keep arguing at a time like this. Kai, she's right, we need to find somewhere that is safe and secure if you do not want to get eaten by a monster. Come on, Kamiho, hold it. I know what you're trying to say, but we probably won't survive just like what these two soldiers. In fact, what we really need is a strong leader, like myself. So let me be the boss. Matsuoka, look, no one asked you to be the leader. Now is not the time. Kamiho, you all saw that those things had killed our friends, right? Mickey, that's true. Kamiho, but rather than dead people, we should give priority to the safety of people alive, don't you think? You'll also like. Kai, you're kidding. Didn't you see that those were our friends from the same school we were all in? Do you not care about people that we look up to? Question mark quote. He said to Kamiho and YN with Chris heard this and the two of them know this prick is douchebag and asshole so YN decide to handle it by himself. Kamiho. And why the hell should I? Those people aren't my family nor even a friend or anything like that in particular. I wonder if I could save them from those things, he said and then out of nowhere YN punched Kamiho across in the face and make him hit to the tree and he was kneel down on the ground and other survivors were surprised for what they saw. YN just punch him and then he grabbed the collar of Kamiho and he said, YN shut the fuck up and sit down, ass wipe. He said to him and push him down on the seat of rock and then he was take his gun out and aiming at the head of Kamiho and he said, YN do you want to prove yourself as a leader, huh? Well then how are you going to protect them? He asked Kamiho in question and make the bald-head prick motherfucker was silent. YN that's right, I say you are coward, do me a favor shut your fucking mouth and sit there, before I'll kill you right here in this island and nobody else will find your body. He said. YN alright, anybody is hurt or not? He asked them and make them shook their heads. YN good, now those whoever following this maggot right there. So shut the fuck up. Do you want to survive on this island or not? He asked them and make them all shut up and then YN said. YN alright good, name's YN and you guys are in the island, but the thing is, we don't have any contacting and radio to put our way back to home. He said to them and make them were sigh and sad and then YN asked them. YN anyone had a questions? He asked them. Kai. Yes, I have a question. What are those things back there? I mean what are they come from? He asked YN and make him was sigh little bit and he said. YN those things for what you saw back there, it is, xenomorphs. He said to them and make them were confused about what they heard. YN said. All. Xenomorphs. They said in surprise. Jinnu. What's that mean? She asked YN. YN aliens, it is called aliens. He said to them and make them were surprised to heard for what YN said and make them were felt surprised with fear little bit. Kai. Hold on. You saying those things are back there, they are aliens. He said in surprise and make YN nod his head and he sigh little bit and he said. YN look, I know you all confused like what's going on, but I will tell you all about the whole things later, but first, we need to get back to the safety first. I'll keep you guys safe with warm and foods. Also drinks too. He said to them and make them were understand their heads and then YN said. YN good, then let's go. He said to them. YN I'm the only one who can help save you from the other xenomorphs. I plan on finding us a shelter, so let's all stay together. Matsuoka. But you're not going on your own, we're going with you. Naruse. Of course, we'll support you no matter what. Oribe. They're right, you know. And you'll always have me. YN thank you. Okay, let's go everyone. We can meet the others right away. Kamiho stops then and pushes them back. He still wants to call himself the boss. But they didn't want him to be the leader. Kamiho. I won't let any of yo. Bang. A gunshot hit to the cheek at Kamiho's face and now he was shocked and also everybody too now they looking at YN who holding pistol gun from his holster right now aiming at Kamiho's face and now he's shocked and feared too same Jinno, and Kai too. YN I said I don't want to hear argue between you and the others. Now if you want to be a leader. Then be a man already, motherfucker. He said to him and then Chris surprised to see his partner getting angry like that. YN shout at them like a mad dog and rage too now they were scared too for now they never seeing YN's face more looking like a madman ever before. Also Miura was scared too for now he coming toward at Kamiho and putting a gun on the forehead that he's still shaking and the gun what YN holding is a pistol. YN you still got an answer. Or maybe I will shot you in the head right now. Kamiho was still shaken with anger grit on his teeth right now but the thing is YN putting his gun away on his holster for now. When YN was give him a kick in the nut and make Kamiho was shout out in pain and make him fall down on the ground and he was holding his nut by his hands and tried to stop hurting and then YN kicking the shit out of Kamiho and beating him to death with his pistol gun and keep beating the shit out of him and make him got spat bloods out of his mouth. The survivors who were watch in horror and they saw how brutal YN really is, and then YN grab the face of Kamiho and knee him in the face and break lot of tooth and he was fall down on the ground and bleeding out and make him was sigh out. YN, alright, anyone else? He asked them and they both didn't say anything. YN, come on, let's go right now, we don't have time. Who knows when we have the chance to make it because rescue arrived. But we probably won't get off this island alive if we're not careful. He said to them and make them nod their heads, and then Kamiho who is slowly got up from the ground and he was coughing out. Kamiho, tch. He was spit blood down on the ground. Matsuoka, are you gonna let us follow this guy's plan for us to survive? Or are you just gonna stand there in silence with the dinosaurs? He's leader, so you decided. These two guys can be expected to do all thinking in this group, can't they? Kai, come on dude, just say, yes, if you follow his plan for all of us to live. Kamiho had already made a decision for the group. Time skip later. When they both were going out to somewhere else in this island by themselves, and then they just going out by themselves and make them were chilling little bit and YN with the group of survivors. Tries their best to survive in this island, they were tries to moving out to somewhere else by themselves. Then Kamiho who wasn't accept this and he tries to keep moving on, but until he was hit something and make him was tripped also fall all the ways down on the ground, and then Kamiho was growling out in anger. Kamiho, damn it, this is how I don't want to get going right now. He said to himself, and make him was got up and he turned his head to look around and he noticed that he wasn't with the survivors, and make him just tries to thinking and he need to get back with the others right away and he doesn't want to die alone outside there by these monsters. When he heard there was a noise comes from something else is here, and make him heard the clicking noises comes from the jungle. Okay, this will give you a real nightmare when you heard this sound. Kamiho, asterisk what the hell is that noise? He thought himself. Kamiho, hello, is anybody else there? Guys, he said to them, and when he was bumped something behind and make him turn around, and then he was back away and saw the creature uncloak of invisible by himself and revealed. Yautja. Kamiho, holy shit, he tries to said and he got slashed and stabbed by the creature and kill him as his trophy. Chapter 7, We Are Not Alone, No Way Home. Third POV. Back to YN. When YN with the group of survivors are moving out to somewhere else by themselves, and then they both went to this jungle for themselves and make them both were chilling little bit, and YN knew the map where he really going, and yeah, he know what his doing is going out there somewhere in this island. YN, damn, this isn't really good when we both outside here. He said to himself. Natsumi, Mr. LN. She asked YN. YN, yeah, what is it? He asked her. Natsumi, do you know where are we really going right now? She asked YN, and make him was nod his head to her and he said. YN, yes, I know where we are going, but we are going to be there fast as we could. He said to Mitsumi and make her nod her head, and then Jinu wasn't really like this jungle at all and she can feel the mosquito was bit her in the shoulder. Then YN was turn his head to look over there and make him notice there is a way to go there by himself, and then they are gonna get going, but before there was a voice called out from Kai and he just say out loud. Kai, sir, he said to YN, and make him was with the survivors stop right there by themselves, and he was turn around to look behind at the group of survivors were with YN, and he look at Kai and he asked him. YN, what is it, Kai? He asked Kai. Kai, I think we lost one person. He said to YN, and make him was surprised and he turned his head to look at the boy and he asked him. YN, who did we lost? He asked Kai. Kai, I think it's Kamiho, he's missing person. He said to YN, and make him was surprised to heard that name. Sounds like the prick was missing out by himself, and make YN went to Kai and asked him about what happened. Then Kai explaining to YN about what happened, and then he was showing it to YN about back there, and he told YN that Kai saw Kamiho was been with them, and until Kai turned around and he didn't find Kamiho is with them, and he just disappeared like that. YN, this is weird. Are you sure that he was stick with us before he disappeared? He said to Kai, and make him was turn his head to look around and he said. Kai, I'm sure, but what do we do? He asked YN, and make him was thinking in his head, and then YN told Kai. YN, well, Let's just say that we can get our going right now and leave that prick behind. He want to go by himself, that's fine for him, but I don't like the way attitude of this bastard speaking. He said to him and make him was sigh little bit and he was nod his head to YN and then they both were going out by themselves and they start to going out to the jungle by themselves and then YN was with the group of survivors are going out to somewhere else in this island. After they both are going but they didn't notice there was something is watching at them, something is stalking at YN with the survivors going out by themselves and it looks like invisible creature was stalking at YN and the group of survivors going out. When the creature was stood right there and staring at the group of survivors going and he just planned to do is kill them one by one, but he isn't alone by himself, he had other partner with him. Berserker, growling. Time skip later. In somewhere else. When YN with the group of survivors are keep going for their own journey until they were walk faster and more faster until they smell something weird and bad shit, and disgusting. You'll also like, arg, what's that smell? She said to them. YN smells like a dead body. He said to them. Kai, whatever it is. But where? He said to YN and this make YN was sigh out little bit and he was use his left hand to covering the nose and then he need to make sure that something else is here and YN doesn't like this, but he heard there is something else is moving on the grasses. Miura. Something is moving. She said. Kai. Was it? He tries to said and make YN raise his left hand up and he silenced them both to be quiet and make YN was told them. YN stick behind me. He said to them and make them were nod their heads and then they went behind YN and make him was moving up to the front and get those grasses out of the way and finally closer and closer, also find the exit way, and make them saw something shock, pure terror, and horrifying. There was a dead body whose skin alive and hanging upside down by himself and looks like he was been killed and tear apart off. Miura Oribe Ayumi Naruse. Screaming, they both were screaming out in fear pure terror and fear as hell. And Jinu had her huge face pure terror with fear and Kai had same thing too, the two of them never seen like this before, never ever seen it like this, the dead body was hanging upside down and skin alive by something else kill him. YN my god. He said to himself in shock little bit. Kai, holy fuck. WWW what happened to him? He said to YN and make him was look at the body and he stare over there is a clothes on the ground, and make YN went up there and he saw the clothes was lying down on the ground and same. Familiar for what YN figure out that is. Kamiho's clothes. YN guys, I think this is Kamiho's clothes. He told them and make them were surprises with fear for what they heard YN said and then they turned their heads to look at the body of Kamiho was been hanging upside down. Miura who was covering her eyes with her hands and she cannot seen like this horror with bloodshed over this bastard and YN was sigh little bit and make him walking to them. Kai. WW who the fuck doing this Kamiho? WW why did he? YN he was skin alive. He said to them and make them were shocked to heard that and then YN told them again that he was skin alive by something else. YN something else is here. Xenomorph didn't done this. Something worst in this island and jungle, we aren't alone right now. We need to get out of this jungle fast as we could right now. We are not alone. Let's get moving out. He told them and make them were running away from here by themselves and then they both went out to somewhere right away, because that thing is out there, and what Katya told YN about the Yautja isn't mess around. The predator is in the island and it start to hunt any animals or humans as their preys by themselves and they are going to get those dead bodies as their trophies. When YN with the group of survivors are going out by themselves and then they were running and keep running fast as they could until they heard some noises comes from behind at them and make YN turn to look and he saw there were bunch of xenomorphs but they are different from the other xenomorphs like 6. YN aw shit, you've got to be kidding to me. He said to himself. When these xenomorphs appeared and make them were roar with screeches out at YN and make YN raise his assault rifle and begin to shooting his weapon at those xenomorphs by himself and he was take them out. When YN was open firing from his assault rifle and took many xenomorphs out by himself and he was keep shooting and more shooting at these creatures and he blast their heads off with his assault rifle. YN come and get some. He shout out and make him was take them down, and he looked back at the survivors and he told them to keep running, and they both just did it right away, and YN was shooting at those xenomorphs and take them out. Then YN used the grenade launcher and make him use it from his underneath rifle and shot it out and blow multiple of them, and their bodies were turned into pieces, drop down on the ground. YN shit. Gotta go. He shout out and make him was running and keeping up with the others by himself, and then they both were tries to run up there and keep moving by themselves. One of the xenomorph was blue and he stare at YN with the group of survivors were running away by themselves, and he look at his brothers were been killed by YN. Xenomorph. Asterisk, I'll have my revenge for what you did to my brothers. He thought himself. Time skip later. Back to YN. After they both reached to the safety by themselves, and they were definitely got there by themselves, and YN with the group of survivors inside the safety already, and then they both take their own time to relax. Also YN was told them that they cannot staying here in this building, or how long are they staying there? Kai. So, are we safe here? He asked YN. YN, yes, we both are. Listen. I know you all scared, but I'll tell you the whole things about this place, but promise that you won't be afraid, and I know how understood of you all gonna mad. He said to them, and make them were look each others, and they nod their heads, and then YN explaining to them about the Wayland Tech Company and place for what they're doing, and this make them were shocked and horrified. Also YN told them that some aliens appeared in this world. YN, but I have a bad news for you guys, there is no way for you all going back home. He said to them. All. WW what? They said in surprise. Chapter 8, The Colonial Marines. Third POV. Previously of Kyochuu Rettou, Aliens vs Predators. YN, but I have a bad news for you guys, there is no way for you all going back home. He said to them. All. WW what? They said in surprise, and make them were hurt. YN just speak to them, and then they both were turned their heads to look each others like surprises with confuses about what happened, and they heard YN said it was truth, but he isn't mess around, and then they were turned their heads to look each others and look back at YN. Kai. W wait, are you saying, there is no way for us going back home? He asked YN. YN, yes. He said to Kai. Kai. AA, are you serious or joke? He said to YN. YN, do I looks like fucking joke to you? He said to Kai, and this scared the guy off, and this make YN was remain calm, and he said. YN, there's no plane or anything for what you can get back home. He said to them, and make him ask them about how did they get here, and then they both told YN about there was a portal appeared in the sky when the plane was flying, and it fly through, and then this happened. The plane was losing control because they went to the portal, and make them were got crashed down on the island. YN, wait, so you're telling me that you guys came from the other timeline from the portal and brought you guys here in this island? He asked them, and make the survivors nod their heads, and then YN was thinking, and make him tries to thinking in his head, and he said. YN, someone brought you guys here in this world, and someone else who doing this to your plane. He said to them, and make them were confused more about YN tries to speak. Someone else brought the group of students been here in this island. Questions is who could done such a thing right now? YN, look, we'll get some rest and we are going out alright. We cannot stay here until these xenomorphs will be appeared here by themselves. He said to them, and make them were nod their heads, and then they both were tries to take a rest until something else is here, and it was break down from the ceiling, and make the survivors were screaming out in fear. Then an xenomorph was landing down on the ground and revealed the creature is Specimen 6 by herself, and she is here for YN. Kai. Holy shit, it's one of those things. He shout out to YN. The other girls are scared as shitless for themselves that they saw the creature is here, and make her turn to look at YN and walking toward to him. Jinu, shoot it, shoot that thing. She shout out to YN, and make him was raise his hand touch at Specimen 6 ahead, and then she was purring her mate's touch, and make the other survivors were surprises and confuses about what they just saw. The creature is fall in love with him. The feminine xenomorph goes behind YN and hug him and pulled him closer to her, and make her head lean down at YN's shoulder, and she was purring by YN's touch. Ayumi, what in the hell? She asked YN. YN, easy, this is 6, and she is my girlfriend. He said to them and make them were surprised like WTF, and they were yelled out one word, WTF, and then YN begin to tell them about specimen 6 and the other xenomorphs are females, and yes, they are females were chestbursters comes from the victims that Wayland and Dr. Groves' subjects. Time skip later. 6. Are you saying there was another xenomorphs out there tries to kill you? She asked. YN. You'll also like. YN. Yep, this isn't really good at all, and I thought you girls are the only xenomorphs left in the island. He asked her. 6. We both are, but that's not our sisters, but I have 5 sisters were been killed by the male xenomorphs. She said to YN, and then the 2 of them were sat there and chilling by themselves, and the group of survivors are sat there and having relaxation and they are tired. Then YN was sigh out for himself and make YN was definitely heard something else is here and make him was turn his head to look over there, and 6 definitely heard it too. And make the 2 of them got up from the ground and YN look at the survivors, and he told them to wake up right now. They both just did it already, and then YN was look at them and give them a shushes and don't even make any noises. Kai. What is it? He asked YN, and he told him to be quiet and make him was nod his head, and then YN was grab the motion tracker out by his vest. Jinnu, what is that you were? YN, it's called motion tracker. He said to her and make him using it, and he take a look at the motion tracker and he saw there was multiple contacts coming for his way, and there were 35 of these contacts gonna appear here. Then YN seen this and make him was told them to moving out right now, and they both cannot stay here, and this make them grab their stuffs and they are moving out by themselves. When YN with 6 and the group of survivors are moving out to somewhere else in this Wayland place, and they need to get away from whatever it is coming for them, the xenomorphs are gonna be here anytime and sooner or later. YN with the group are going out to somewhere, and then they both need to move fast before. Out of nowhere there was an xenomorph was appeared out of nowhere, and it leapt toward to the person that she was knocked down on the ground. Jinnu, shit, get it off me. She shout out to the others and make them were turn their heads to look at Jinnu was pinned down by the xenomorph, and he grabbed the face from Jinnu and he is going to kill her. Then YN seen this and he raise his assault rifle up and aim the weapon at the xenomorph holding Jinnu's head and prepare to kill her. And YN take a shot at the beast in the head and face and make the beast let go. Blood comes from acid of xenomorph was spit all over Jinnu's face. She is screaming and screaming out in horror. Her face was melting by the acid and instantly killed her. This make the survivors were seen this and felt their faces into horror and scared as hell. And Miura who cover her mouth and she saw in horror. YN, fuck, here they comes. He shout out to them and make them both were saw there were 8 of xenomorphs are appeared by themselves right now. YN, go. Go, I'll hold them off. Take an exit back there now. He shout out to them and make them were nod their heads, and then they were running away, and YN got his assault rifle and shooting his weapon at those xenomorphs. When YN was open firing from his assault rifle and took many xenomorphs out by himself, and he was keep shooting and more shooting at these creatures, and he blast their heads off with his assault rifle. YN come and get some. He shout out and make him was take them down, and he look up and he shooting any of them and make these xenomorphs were got many shots, and they both fall down on the ground and dead, with bloods of acid falling all over. Then 6 who was fighting those male xenomorphs beside with YN, the 2 of them are fighting at these male xenomorphs by themselves, and YN just killing many of them by himself, and 6 was do the same thing. YN eat this. He shout out to them and make him was use the grenade launcher comes from his assault rifle and shot the grenade launcher at those xenomorphs and blow them up right away. Katya. YN. The Colonial Marines are here right now. She shout out to his earpiece and make him was nod his head, and then YN was told her to tell them get here immediately, and then YN went back to shooting at those xenomorphs and killing many of them with his assault rifle, and then one of them was closer to YN and make him was tries to kill him. Then YN shot him in the head and acid was spill on his assault rifle and make YN growl in little bit, and he said, YN damn it. He shout out and he throw the rifle down on the ground and make YN take his pistol gun out and start to shooting at them. YN HRAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAAA shooting at them. And one of them tries to attack at y and behind. Then 6 who saved YN's life and she tackled one of the male xenomorph and begin to kill him with her bare hands and YN was turn around and shoot one of them tries to goes on top of 6. After YN killed it and then he get 6 up from the ground and until out of nowhere heard the sound of gunshots came here and make YN with 6 turn their heads to look over there and YN heard the sound of gunfire comes from the soldiers are here. YN 6, you need to go right now. He said to her and make her was heard of YN speak out and she nod her head and she was disappeared right away like crawling toward to the vent and make her disappeared. When he was turn his head to look over there and he saw the colonial marines arrive right on the time, and they both are here by themselves and they got their weapons with them. Marine 1, spread out, find any xenomorphs in here, terminate them all. He said to them and make them were nod their heads and then they both are going out and one of the marine notice YN is here. Marine 1, are you YNLN the specialist? He asked YN. YN, yes, sir. He said to him, Marine 1, we are the United States Colonial Marine Corps, we are here sent by the government, and you are going to be safe from now on. He said. Chapter 9, The New Threat. 3rd POV, in somewhere else. Wayland, that traitor YN is with them. He said to the android soldier. Android soldier 1, yes, sir, he's with the Colonial Marine, and all everything he was recording at us and the detail too. He said to him. Wayland, that damn bastard. YN you will pay. He said to himself and there were 4 soldiers and 1 android Wayland was stood on there and looking down all the chamber eggs were there and lot of million of them. When Wayland was got the other secret for what he create a new monster for what it might become and looks like the new xenomorph was created by Wayland and yes, he creating it looks like the queen. The big monster who can be king of xenomorphs by himself and this isn't good at all, this isn't really good. Android Soldier 1, what shall we do? He asked him. Wayland, we got everything that we need. Kill all the scientists and marines, if you seen YN kill him. We cannot let him destroy our project. We need this project alive. He said to them. Android Soldier 2, yes, sir. He said to him and then other android soldiers were walking away and leave Wayland look at the chained of xenomorph king was stuck there and he got his face with an evilly smile up like sadistic male. Then he look at the xenomorph king was birthing the other eggs out by himself and the xenomorph king will be in this future of new generation. Wayland, you are impressive, you'll be new king of xenomorphs. He said to him. Wayland, there is new god will be in this world. He said. ... Chapter 10, Feral Predator Attack. 3rd POV. Back to YN. When YN was talking with the captain or general about this situation and he was showing the general about the recording of these xenomorphs also the subject with crimes for what Wayland company hiding something up. Then YN think this is good evidence to show this whole world and make the general accept this recording of YN's doing and it pretty impressive for what YN do and make the specialist was got his mission to do is terminate Wayland. General, well done, son. It seems we found out about Wayland's hiding. I'll send you a partner up for you. He said to YN. YN you know I could done this alone by myself. He said to him and make the general was chuckle and he told him. General, you've been through a lot, son, it seems you need backup with you to watch your back. He said to YN and make him was chuckle little bit and he said. YN thank you, sir. I am appreciated for your help. He said to the general and then he was walking out of the room and then YN look at the hallway and where the rest of those soldiers were there and guarding. Here, and make sure that any xenomorphs are going to attack. Then YN seen this and he just tries to thinking out like he want to find a plan to distract these soldiers not to kill 6 and her sisters, but only target to kill as male xenomorphs where came from. YN my weapon was run out already, and I need to check another weapons if I can fight and kill. He said to himself and he went to the other room and then YN went up there and he saw Katya. With the other survivors that they both were there. Katya was checking up at the survivors. YN hey guys. He said to them and make them give him a smile up and then YN was sigh out little bit and he said. YN I'm sorry for saving your friend. Jinu, she didn't. Ayumi, don't blame yourself, Mr. LN you did save us back there. We almost got killed by these creatures. She said to YN. Kai. Did she bring these xenomorphs here? He asked YN. YN, well no, but basically. 6 wasn't with these xenomorphs. He said to him, and make the others were surprises to her. YN told them. Kai. Wait, what are you saying that these xenomorphs aren't with 6? You mean these creatures are different than any monsters else? He asked YN, and make him was nod his head to him, and then Katya was told them about the other xenomorphs or males, and she explaining to them about there was a new xenomorph was big like a queen, but something worst anything else for what they definitely saw. Oribe, what do we do? Are you sure that we can be safe here? She asked YN, and make him was thinking, and he just told them that they need to stay here for now on and they will be safe with the colonial marine soldiers, because they can protecting them from the dangers. You'll also like. YN, look, I have to go right now. I'll meet you guys later. I have a job to do. He said to them, and make them were nod their heads, and YN was walk off, but he look at Katya and he said. YN, Katya, please don't get yourself killed this time. He said to her. Katya. Don't worry, I'll be fine. She said to YN, and he was walk off to the other living room and get the new weapons for what he is gonna fight and kill some xenomorphs by himself, and then other monsters that they tries to kill him, he will take them down by himself. When he went inside the room and he saw there is a lot of weapons for what the soldiers put all collection of weapons in there, and he grabbed his 2 weapons, submachine gun, and shotgun. YN, now, this is the one that I really like. He said to himself, and make him was grab the 2 weapons with him, and then YN heard the marine soldier called YN out, and they are leaving, and YN take his ammo weapons with him and putting it on his vest. Then YN was moving out of the room by himself, and he start to heading outside, and when he was walk with the group of soldiers who stood right there and listening what the general told them about the mission. What they need to do is clearing many xenomorphs out and get the survivors. When YN with the Marines are moving out to the big vehicle over there, and that vehicle looks like a tank or Humvee, and then YN turn his head to look at the other vehicles, has the same thing too, 3 of them. Captain, let's go, let's go, let's go. He shout out to them, and make them were nod their heads, and they went inside the vehicle right away, and YN was going for the 3rd one, and make him went take a seat with the rookie. Then the 3 vehicles are driving off by themselves, and they both begin to moving out to somewhere else in this island, and they start to search the other location place where the survivors are contacting with. They need to get there fast as they could, and they cannot leave them behind. When 6 was on the big rock, and she is stare down at her human mate, went to the vehicle, and she saw him going along with the other vehicles, and she want to following him because she doesn't want him to be danger with other xenomorphs. Xenomorph 1. Is that a human mate for what you were speaking about, 6? She asked her. 6. Yes, he's my human mate, and I don't want that happen to him. We must follow him before he get himself killed. She said to her. Xenomorph 2. Right, let's get going then. She said to her, and then they both were moving out and following YN going out to somewhere by himself. Time skip later. Back to YN. When YN was with the others are in the vehicle, and they both just sat there and chilling by themselves, and YN was got the cigarette out and make him light the cigarette up with his lighter, and he smoking it up. YN asterisk sigh. He was sigh out little bit, and he felt someone tapped him on his shoulder, and he turned his head to look at the rookie who was sat beside with YN. Rookie, may I have the cigarette? He asked YN, and he was nod his head, and he grabbed the cigarette and gave it to Rookie, and then he was smoking it up, and the 2 of them were sat there and chilling until out of nowhere and explode. Hit the vehicle up. Send the vehicle up into flip and crashed down on the tree. This is ambushed by something else is here. The other marine soldiers came out of the other vehicles, and they both were got out of there, and until they didn't notice what's coming for them. Imagine upgrade Predator as feral attack scene. When YN was got out of the vehicle and he dragged Rookie with him, the Rookie was knocked out into unconscious by the blow up and send the vehicle to flip crash down on the ground, and then other female appeared by herself, and she is helping YN drag Rookie to the safety immediately. There is another enemy is here and looks like ugly motherfucker, and he was the deadliest predator who can kill and skin the other human alive, and this predator was big like 7 feet 3 foot tall, very big as hell, and he had a dangerous weapons with him. This one looks like different clan. A feral Feral predator. Feral predator. The creature was hissing out and he was holding a head with neckline from the victim that he just killed and make the creature notice YN with 2 soldiers were running away from here by themselves. And they both just running out of here by themselves. The creature was growl out little bit and make him just release his roar out to the sky. Feral predator. Roar. Chapter 11. Specialist vs Feral Predator. Third paw. Back to YN. Tequila. Don't worry, Rookie, you're going to be fine. She said to him and she was carrying Rookie and YN who was helping her too. YN kid, you're still with us. He asked the Rookie and make him felt unconscious and then the 2 of them take the Rookie to the safety right away and they both went to the tree over there and make the 2 of them set the Rookie to the ground. Then they both check at the kid and make sure that he is going to be alright and YN was check at his head and he look at the kid again and he was fine. Pretty much fine right now, just his head got hit pretty hard by the ambush from Feral Predator. YN Tequila, call back up immediately. He said to her. Tequila, I'm on it. She said and she used the radio walkie-talkie or earpiece to contacting with the other about the ambushes from Feral Predator was attack and killing all the other Marine soldiers and now only left is YN Rookie and Tequila that's the 3 of them are here. Then YN was look around and he need to make sure that these things for what Katya told YN about predators, and they are smart and tactical, they can invisible for themselves and he doesn't like this at all. Tequila, is anyone else copy? She said to the earpiece and make the static going on the ear and YN turn his head to look at her and he asked her. YN what's wrong? He asked her. Tequila, I can't contact the general in the radio. Something just blocked the signal. She said to YN. YN this isn't good, if that thing show up, we need to get prepare right now before it will be here any minutes. Do you have your weapon with you? He asked her and make her nod her head and then YN take his submachine gun out and load the weapon right away and Tequila got her assault rifle out and loaded up. Then YN with Tequila heard there was a clicking noises comes from somewhere and make YN was with Tequila goes their own position with their weapons aim around here. YN did you see anything? He asked her and she was shook her head and she told YN that she didn't seen anything and then the 2 of them were waiting for what happened next. Is YN saw there was a .si red glowed aim at Tequila's head and make him seen this. Then the specialist was jump up and tackle Tequila and send the 2 of them on the ground and they heard the shot and out of nowhere and explode comes from the other side and it was blown up, and this make the 2 of them got up that they aimed their weapons around. YN shit, this son of bitch is smart. He said to himself and make YN wasn't like this at all and then Tequila too and YN was tries to think but he heard a thud land down on the ground and it sounds like behind and make YN turn around and shoot in the hand grab his weapon and tries to take it away, but YN tries to shooting at the Feral Predator, the beast kick him in the chest and send him to the ground. Tequila. YN. You bastard. She shout out and shooting her weapon at the Feral Predator in the back and make the beast roar out and backhanded it Tequila in the face and send her to the ground. Then YN was lost his submachine gun and make him tries to take his shotgun out and he was start to lock and load the weapon up right away. YN alright, jackass, just you and me. He said to him and make the Feral Predator was roar out toward to YN and he charged toward at the specialist and YN doing the same thing too. The 2 of them charged toward at each other's and YN was blast his shotgun at the Feral Predator in the front and make the monster roar out in pain. When YN was tries to aim his shotgun at the monster in back behind and blast the creature really hard and make him was roar out in pain. YN come on, ugly son of bitch. He shout out toward to the Feral Predator and make the beast tries to kill YN and he duck his head again and he saw Feral Predator was holding the disc in his left hand. YN eat this. He said and he used his shotgun blast Feral Predator's right hand, blowed his fingers off. Feral Predator. Roar, he was roar out in pain and make YN got smacked by Feral Predator and sent YN to the ground and then his shotgun was lay on the other ground and YN was get up again and he saw Feral Predator was roar out in pain because he got his right hand blowed up. YN saw the object on the ground and it must be the weapon for what the Feral Predator was using it. And make YN get up and he charged toward over there and grab the weapon in his right hand and prepare to using it. YN alright, let's see what it can do. he said, and he was holding the other weapon out from his vest, and it is a combat knife. Imagine Danny Glover as YN fighting Predator as feral scene. When YN was got grabbed by feral Predator who hold his neck and make him tries to kick feral Predator off and he can't. His grip was too strong and pretty strong as hell, and then YN tries to use his knife stab the creature's arm. The creature didn't feel anything, but until out of nowhere a spear was thrown, hit feral Predator in the back behind and make the creature was roar out in pain and keep roaring out in pain, and he was dropped YN down on the ground and YN is breathing out little bit. YN breathing, he was breathing little bit and he turned his head to look over there. The shot comes from the tree, where the creature was stood on the tree, and she looks like Kyochuu. Different, oh my god, her body looks like female shape and she was pretty hot. When the feral Predator was gonna kill YN again and he dodge out of the way and make YN grab the shotgun from the ground and he aim the weapon at feral Predator and take a shot at the creature. Feral Predator got blasts by YN's shotgun and begin to killing the creature with his weapon, and the monster was roar out in pain and he tries to attack at YN again, but out of nowhere there was Tequila with Rookie appeared that they aim their assault rifles and shooting at feral Predator. YN Tequila with Rookie were shooting at the monster together with their weapons. The feral Predator was kneel down on the ground and make the creature was fall down on the ground and finally death, or maybe unconscious, and make YN was with the two soldiers lower their weapons down. Tequila, did we kill it? She asked YN. YN, I think so, he said to her, and make the three of them were kill the first Predator. Feral Predator, but then they heard something else came here right away, and the noises were came here, and YN turned his head to look at the front and he saw there were xenomorphs, but bunch of them came here right away, and Specimen 6 is here too. Tequila, shit, more of them. I'll take, she tries to said, and YN put his hand at her weapon and he told her. YN, stand down, she's with me. He told her, and make the others were surprises, and then YN turned his head to look at Specimen 6 and she is walking toward to YN and gave him a hug right away and make her was purring at YN and he just hugged back at her. YN, it's alright, I'm here. I'm really here, I am alive right now. He told her. 6. I thought you were gone. She said to YN and make him was sigh out little bit, and he told her that he wasn't gone but he is quiet alive, and yes, he's quiet alive as well. When YN was look at 6 who still gently patting her hand on YN's helmet, and then YN put his hand at her face gently scratching her face. YN, why are you here? He asked her. 6. I was here for you because I am worries about you. She said to YN and make him sigh little bit, and he just told her to calm down until they heard the other hisses comes from the other xenomorphs. Then 6 with YN turned their heads to look over there, and they saw there were other xenomorphs or appeared here by themselves. But these creatures are different than anything for what YN with others gonna saw, and then YN with the others seen this. YN, looks like we got companies. Tequila and Rookie, back me up. He shout out to the two of them, and then they both nod their heads and they were shooting their weapons at those creature new hybrid xenomorphs, and YN was doing the same. 6 with her sisters fighting many xenomorphs by themselves in the jungle. Chapter 12, Big Face Hugger. Third Paw. Back to YN. After YN with Tequila and Rookie slaughtering the rest of those xenomorphs by themselves, and they both take them down like nothing, and then YN was definitely doing fine with these xenomorphs, and YN was the only one who get the others survive. Then the three of them were look over around, and there were dead bodies of hybrid xenomorphs that YN with the two of them killing them all. Rookie, did we kill them all? He asked YN. YN, I think we both just did. He said to him. Tequila, well, what about her and the other bugs? She asked YN and make him was turn his head to look at them, and then he was sigh out and he looked back at them and he said. YN, I'll talk to them. He said to her, and make him was reload the shotgun up right away by himself, and YN put the weapon back behind and make him walking toward to 6, and he was put his hand on her shoulder and he asked her. YN, you alright, 6? He asked her. 6, I'm fine, but thanks for your help, mate, she said, and she was hug him and peck him on the lips, and he was chuckled to her and he said. YN, I always help you out, 6, but by the way, those creatures out there that we were fight, it wasn't your friends. He asked her and make her shook her head, and then she told him that they were different from her own kind and she want to tell him the truth about it. And 6 was tell why and that she need to return back to her cave right away with her sisters and the queen too. And she will be back for why and that the two of them are gonna work together. Why and alright, let's get going, you two. He said to the two of them and make them nod their heads by themselves. Then YN was with the two soldiers are moving out by themselves and they both just going out to somewhere else in this island and their journeys were just beginning right now and they both are going to survive by themselves. As the body of feral predator was lying there and he tries to wake up like he want to know where he really is and make him was turn his head to look around and he tries to crawl away from here by himself and until there was something else came to him. It looks like one of the smallest shit that make everybody got been hugged by these goddamn things, and that thing is, face hugger. The face hugger was crawling toward to feral predator and make it just jumped up at his face and finally get face hugged by one of the face hugger and the feral predator tries to move it, and he was been stuck there for a while. Now something worst will come out if feral predator will change into something worst, xenomorph. Time skip later. In somewhere else. There were two students that are looking for a safe place of their own. There are also survivors of the plane crash. One was Akira, and another was a random student, a male student. They both appear to be separated from their classmates and all out on their own. One was already tired of walking in circles, but the other was tireless. Student: Akira, we've been walking around the island for hours. There's absolutely nowhere we could go. I think we should get back. Akira: look, man, we'll never know unless we keep on searching. Maybe there are people already waiting for us. He said to them and make them were going and keep going out and until they take few more steps but, something else make them heard something rustling and strange footsteps coming here. Akira: guys, stop. I think there is something else coming here. He said to them. Student: what makes you say, he said and interrupted by an appearance of the creature is here. And this one is big with 7 foot tall and he had a big muscle and the stance of this creature is gorilla. Akira: WW what in the hell? He said in surprise and he never ever seen this creature before and then Akira saw there were more of them came here right by themselves. The xenomorph was walk forward to confront them, and they attempt to step forward to come up with an attack. Akira told the students to step back, but he just stood there, terrified knowing that the creature might begin to attack he knew was coming. The xenomorph snapped its head in single swift motion and roared. The two of them were froze, the 6 creatures began to walk toward them, and one was staring at the student blankly in the eye. Akira thought of something that just happened. Akira: that thing can't see him. He asked himself in surprise. Just before the creature nudged the student with its snout and moved its head to strike him laterally to the ground. The first creature bends over and lowered its jaws towards the student's body. He was still shaking in fear and the second xenomorph lashes in, seizing him in its teeth and tossing him out of nowhere he was standing. The student pops up into the air between the two xenomorphs, both their heads flash at him at the same time, and in a split second, he disappears between their teeth. The movement was delicate, yet came accompanied with a high-pitched scream. When it lifted its head, Akira noticed the creature had a bit of dangling bit of flesh within its mouth. It was the student's arm. The monster was let out roar at Akira. Akira: holy shit. He shout out and begin to running out by himself and he need to get away from the creature was chasing at him. Akira ran away from here immediately before he is going to get himself killed by these monsters out there. Akira ran as fast he could in the jungle forest. One of the xenomorph followed him and roared behind. Suddenly, one monster was burst through the trees ahead of him. He ran quickly as he catches his breath. Xenomorph. Roar. Akira. Damn it. The monster was darted toward him from behind. He sees the other side of the cliff that continues the path. He tried to make a run for it while his muscles were still pumping as he was gonna make a jump, thinking that he was not gonna make it. But he jumped so high above the cliff to another. The creature rises its jaws as if it was trying to chomp at him, but it missed. Akira felt lucky that he made it for sure. He catches his breath and got up, and he was glad that he made it to the other side of the cliff. The monster can't make a jump that's slightly far enough to the other side. The xenomorph roared loudly and walked at the opposite direction. It turned away, although he felt pretty bad about the student that was killed from the xenomorph. Now, Akira thought about looking for Kamiho, who he calls him, brother. He wondered where he could be. Akira. Maybe Kamiho with the others. I'd better go look for him. He said to himself, and he was start to walking away from here and make him was heading to somewhere else right away, and then he turned his head to look over there and saw there is a bridge over there. Akira. Maybe, I can go this way. He said to himself, and he was begin to moving out right away, and he want to heading out to somewhere else in this island and make him tries to find the other survivors and his friend Kamiho. That's what he want to going out right now. When he was going to walk out to somewhere in this island, but somehow he won't find a way to regroup with the others. Time skip later. Back to YN. When YN was walking with the two soldiers that they just going out to somewhere else in this island, and the three of them are going out and tries to survive. But Tequila contacting with the general and tell him about what happened. Then he will send the backup and other marine will be appeared here right away, and Rookie asked YN about 6. How did he and her meet? But YN told the two of them about the experience with subjects of Dr. Grove's plan and also Wayland's doing. But he had no choice, he free them, and he mate with her, and this make them surprise about what they heard YN having sex with the alien. Tequila. Oh okay. YN wait, you're not felt disgust to heard about it? He asked her. Tequila. No, I mean not. She said. Rookie. Yeah, as for me too. He said to YN, and make the three of them went to the jungle until they spot something else is here. There were 5 dead bodies on the ground, also lot of bloods with guts all everywhere. YN Jesus Christ. He said to himself. Tequila. Damn, what the hell happened here? She asked YN, and make him went up there, and he was take a closer to look at the body of those soldiers were been killed and murdered by something else kill them. YN must be the xenomorph. Alright, you two, get ready, we need to check out everything around here. He said to them, and make them were nod their heads, and they both were going out and split up, and then YN with Tequila and Rookie got their weapons out, and they need to clear all everything around. Make sure there is any contacts of xenomorphs or maybe some monsters around here. YN guys, do you see anything else around here? He asked them, and they told YN that they didn't seen anything, and YN was going alone by himself and aim his shotgun around here, and he didn't heard anything but just strange and quiet. When YN was walking up to the other location, and he saw there was 5 dead bodies are hanging upside down and skin alive by predator. YN Jesus Christ. Sigh, there are more of them out there. He said to himself, and he look over their 5 dog tags hang on the tree, and make him grabbing it and put it on his vest, and he said. YN you may rest in peace, soldiers. I'll find out who did this to you. He said to them, and he looked down there and see there was submachine gun, and he grabbed it with him. YN lock and loaded the weapon up right now, and then YN was got his submachine gun by himself until he heard there was a hissing out loud, and make YN turn around, and he aim his weapon at the strange noises comes from. Then YN saw there was a big ass face hugger, and it is very big and terrifying monster that YN just face feral predator and xenomorphs. But this one is different, and it had the tail of xenomorph looks like blade, and YN seen this and make him tries to thinking like find a way to kill this thing. Face hugger. Roar. YN son of bitch, never seen it before. He said to himself, and make him raise his submachine gun aiming at the monster and shooting at the creature with his weapon. The creature tries to stab YN with his tail, and YN was keep shooting his weapon at the monster with his submachine gun by himself and killing this big ass face hugger, and then YN just keep shooting at the creature. But the creature was run around, and he's very fast, but YN need to find a way to take this creature down by himself, and he cannot let the creature live, and the specialist saw the face hugger was spit an acid at YN. YN shit. He shout out and dodge out of the way and make him land down on the ground and aim his weapon at the face hugger and shooting at him. The creature was got many shots by YN's gun, and then here comes the 2 backup arrive, and they both hear and shooting their weapons at the face hugger together, and they keep shooting and more shooting and finally kill the son of bitch by themselves. When the 3 of them work together and they killing it, and then YN take his shotgun out and load the weapon and aim his shotgun at the creature as dying and blast his head off. Tequila. Shit, that's a big one. She said to YN. YN it is. He said to her, and he was kick it and make sure it is dead. It is definitely dead already, and Rookie told YN. Rookie. Okay, we found those face huggers. These small creatures are fucking attack us out of nowhere. He said. I guess we have to destroy those egg chambers from whatever it is that Xenomorph King's doing. He said to them. Chapter 13. Zarya the Huntress Lemon. Third POV. Back to YN. After YN with Rookie are inside the new place and they both got the flamethrowers with them, and then the two of them went in there and saw there were bunch of eggs on the ground and most eggs are around here, and then YN with Rookie seen this, they are going to burning them all. Rookie. Holy shit, he said. YN, well, that's a lot of them, but by the way, we need to burn them all right now before more grown up with these things. He said to him, and then the two of them got the flamethrowers and they both shooting all flames all over these eggs and burning many of them around here and begin to burning these facehuggers, and YN with the Rookie was keep smoking all of these motherfuckers. Rookie. Ha 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 ha. This is fun, he said. Tequila. How are you boys doing down there? She asked. YN. YN, doing good. We are just burning the rest of these goddamn eggs down here. He said to her and make her was chuckle little bit, and then YN was looking at Rookie was keep burning, and then the two of them are burning the rest of these motherfucking eggs. Until the two of them were done wiping many egg chambers out already, and YN was turn his head to look around and make sure that nothing else left there. YN, Tequila, we destroy some eggs around here, and they are dead and burn alive. He said to her. Tequila. Good job, you two. I already told the general about what happened, but don't worry, the Marine will be appeared here anytime and soon. She said to YN, and make him was told her. Understood, and then YN was with Rookie are heading back to the office right away. Then they both went up there, and then Tequila want to tell the two of them that she found something else for what she just did. Tequila. Guys, I just found something, check it out. She said to YN and Rookie, and then she used the computer and typing it down and make YN with Rookie were surprised for what they saw. There was a computer data. YN, shit. That's Wayland, and is that? Tequila. That's computer data, and he had it with him. She said to YN. Rookie. What's that gonna do with it? He asked her. Tequila. He was probably planned something with the data that he just recording, and this isn't good at all. But we need to get there fast as we could and grab the data. What Katya told me that data had the Empire number or words, but we cannot let Wayland had it with him. She said to YN and Rookie. Then YN remembered about Katya told YN this computer data and it had anything else with some xenomorph DNA, and this isn't good. YN, alright, we are going in there and find the bastard and kill that son of bitch. Get the computer data. We need to keep it with us, but we cannot let them find out about this, we don't trust anyone else. He said to them and make them nod their heads. YN, okay, let's get going right now. He said to them, and they both went out by themselves and they didn't notice there was her again. The Huntress was watching it. YN, Rookie, and Tequila are going out to somewhere by themselves, and then she was watching it. YN with the two soldiers are going out and they both just tries to look around and make sure these xenomorphs are gonna be appeared anytime and soon. When the three of them are found, there were dead bodies of scientists that they saw. These bodies were got shots by these son of bitches back there. YN, no, these scums, android soldiers, terminate them. YN, the rest of those people are been killed and terminated by these android soldiers, they were ordered by Wayland's doing. He said to them. Tequila. Why did they do that? I thought androids are. YN, these guys aren't the androids for what you were talking about. They are unarmed but dangerous, we need to take these fucking robots out and kill the rest of them. He said to them and make him was sigh out little bit, and he said. YN, no survivors, just nothing, we didn't find anyone else in here. He said to them, and before one of them tries to speak, and YN heard there was a track motion ringing up and make him take it out, and he saw it and he said. YN, contacts. Multiple of them. He said to them and make them were look around, and then they goes back to their own positions as they were stick together, and the three of them lock and loaded their weapons and prepare for fight right away. Rookie. See anything? He asked them, and they shook their heads and they didn't seen anything, and until they heard there was noises comes from over there. Tequila. Shit, she said in surprise. YN, looks like we got companies. Tequila, and Rookie. Back me up. He shout out to the two of them, and then they both nod their heads and they were shooting their weapons at those creature new hybrid xenomorphs. When the three of them were worked together and they both shooting many monsters around them and the feminine Yautja was watching it. Tequila and Rookie are working together as teammates and they are slaughtering these xenomorphs by themselves. But then she saw there was one of the xenomorph that was facing it before and now it is going to attack it again. And he saw this and make him was dodge out of the way and too late he was let the xenomorph goes on top of him and tries to bite him. Rookie, sir, he said and he tries to help. But saw the creature tries to bite him and then use his gun to block the attack of the creature, until out of nowhere a shot out comes from the plaster blast the xenomorph's head off and it fall down on the ground. What in the? He said to himself and he turned his head to look over there and he saw the female Yautja was land down on the ground and revealed herself. Holy shit. He said to himself and then she was got her weapon out and prepared to fight at these xenomorphs by herself and then they both look at each others and shook their heads and they were working together and fighting the rest of these xenomorphs. Imagine wolf predator as female Yautja the huntress kill the rest of these xenomorphs scene. After they both done with all of them and then heard the marine soldiers arrive and the huntress was disappeared for herself and use her invisible form. He wasn't said anything. Time skip later. At night. When was staying at night, and he was on the rooftop of the building and make him just stood right there and smoking the cigarette by himself and he was chilling little bit until he heard a thud land down on the ground. This make him was turn around to look and he saw her as here, and make her and talk to each other. Her name is Zaria and she was here for kill the bad bloods, the other predators from the clan members and heard this and he want to help her out too. Then Zaria was start to fall in love with and then she pulled him hug and take off her mask and show her face, and she is quiet cute and beautiful. Lemon smut warning. Having his arms wrapped her waist and she got her arms wrapped around his neck that was kissing her deep passionately and keep kissing her now he was feeling his knee that her wet panties to down on the knee of pant now that making he got heating of mate. But she touched at his face when he was caught her hand but having a night vision to looking at Zaria's heartbeat and also something more like a human bones with triceps. Zaria, oh wow, you're really wet down here. Were you thinking about me in your mind? Zaria, yes, my love. I couldn't stop thinking about you. I wanted you since you introduced yourself to me. He moaning in the bed and feel his member was sucking by the huntress, and Zaria deep throating his dick and make him moaning and his legs wrapped around her head to keep doing more and make him moaned out so hard. Zaria. I'm gonna come. He said out loud then he holding the back of her head and then he released out his cum inside at Zaria's mouth and the feminine huntress was gulping all the cum of just shot out. She let go of his dick and he was breathing. He said and got interrupted by Zaria was slammed her pussy down on YN's dick and make him shock and he opened his mouth and let out moan and Zaria was grown little bit and feel YN's dick big and her pussy is so tight. Zaria goes up and down and keep going then she was holding YN's hands and she won't let go. Then she begin to keep thrusting and fucking at him then YN was moaning and keep moaning then he keep moaning and his mouth got shoved by Zaria who keep kissing at him. In 23 rounds and the bed was shaking. Zaria goes wild animal and begin to fucking the crap out of YN. Zaria, come on, YN. Give me your cum, she said and YN was licking at her breasts and bite down then he shot his lot of cum inside at Zaria's womb. She let out her moaning out and YN's face was eyes widened and rolled then tongue rolling out like a pervert and until few seconds that YN begin to having more fun with Betty. Zaria. You're already hitting my womb and you're not moving. You want me to take it out? Zaria, no, I want it in me. She went up and down slowly making her moan every time she went down. Zaria, YN pushed her to get on top of her. She started to blush at the position she was in. Zaria, please, YN. Fuck me I want it. YN inserted his dick and went back and forward making her breath. YN started to go faster. Zaria, YN I'm gonna come please. I want you to come inside of me. YN started to come inside her making her come down her legs. YN pulled out and saw cum leaking out of her. Zaria, wow, you came so much, babe. But you have one more hole left to finish. She smiled at him. YN inserted his dick in her ass, making her moan out loud. Zarya. Ah. She started to move her hips to his dick, making you go faster. Zarya. Please babe, fuck me hard, I want it. YN started to move back and forward fast and hard, making her eyes roll back. Zarya. Oh yeah, make me your bitch. YN was growling like a beast, and also his eyes were changing into red that he just keep fucking her up, and so he was grabbing her boobs in front that YN was putting her boobs up and down now, making she moaning. YN started to come, making her pass out on the ground breathing heavily, and she got up and hugged him. Chapter 14. The Prey Hunted by Hunter. Third POV. Back to Akira. When Akira was walking in the forest by himself and he just got tired and pretty much hungry, and he was tired. So freaking tired, and he has been walking for this like 54 hours and he didn't find anyone, but all he just called out everyone's names. When Akira was moving up to the other way of the island and he didn't found or capture by anything else around here, and make him was tries to moving fast as he could. Akira. This island is pretty big. How long am I going to? He tries to said, and he heard a voice called out like a whisper. Akira. Akira. What the? He tries to said, and he was turn around to look, and he need to see around, and make him was tries to look anything around here, and he didn't seen anything, but it was too quiet and too quiet. Then he heard a voice called out again, and this make him getting scare and more even scare as hell. Akira. Hello. Hello. He shout out to whoever was called him right now, and make him definitely become pure fear and more fear to be afraid, and he think this is haunted island. Akira. Who's there? Who goes there? He shout out, and he didn't heard anything, but he saw something else as stood on the tree, and it was uncloak of himself, and this scared the crap out of Akira. He saw him. Yes, him. The predator is here. Akira. Holy shit. He said to himself. Run. When Akira heard this, and make him was running out by himself, and he need to get away from that thing. That thing is chasing at him, and it is after him right now. Imagine Arnold as Akira was chasing by the predator. Akira. Breathing. He was breathing out little bit, and make him was swimming to the other way, and he was swim to the other tree, and he was sat down on the tree by himself, and make him is coughing and keep coughing and muttering, I'm safe. And out of nowhere something was splashed down on the water, and make Akira is surprised, and he turn around to look, and he seen it is here, and make him tries to find a way to distract the predator. Akira. I need to do something real quick. He said to himself, and make him was grab the muds over there and covering himself. Akira. He can't see me, he really doesn't see me. He said to himself, and then Akira was got up from the water, and make him begin to moving out to somewhere else, and he need to get away from the predator was hunting him. Chapter 15. Huntress, Specialist, and Xenomorph. Third POV. 5 days later. He wasn't said anything, but he was sat on the rooftops building, and make him just stare down all everything around here, and seen it is raining, and pretty much raining really hard, and it is almost storm is coming. Then just get up from the ground, and he went inside the building by himself, and he look at the huntress was cleaning her weapon by herself, and Zarya just do whatever she takes to hunting these predators down. So, these bad bloods are the break laws? He asked her. Zarya. Yes, they are the breaking laws who tries to hunt whatever they want. They kill harmless, which means they don't care about it, they want them as trophies. She said to YN, and make him was sigh out little bit, and he said. YN, right, look, anyway I'm going with you in 6. He said to her, and this make the female predator was confused, and she heard the name of 6, who was it? YN, she's a xenomorph. He told her, and this make the Yautja felt rage, but YN tell her to calm down, and she didn't do anything wrong, and she explaining to Zarya about 6, was his mate, and yes, that is right. YN was mating with her. This jealous of Zarya heard about 6 was mating with YN already, and then the specialist was told her that no need to be violence, and whatever it is that they need to do is, focus the mission. YN, I know this is looks pretty stupid, but she won't betray us or anything else that she could hurt me. He said to her. Zarya, are you sure? She asked YN. YN, yes, positive. He said to her, and make the huntress was sigh out little bit, and then she look at her human mate for what he said it is truth, and then YN was going to the other room, and make him was get the weapon right away. When he was got inside the room and make him open the box from the ground and he take a look at the weapon for what he definitely found and it is M14 rifle for what he gonna like. Howdy. He said to himself and he grabbed the weapon from the box and he was got it in his hand and load the weapon up. After got the weapon in his hands and he grabbed some ammos with him too and was look at the weapon and this make him smile up little bit and heard the radio was picked up from his earpiece. General, copy. Over. He asked this is sir. What's your sitrep? He asked him and then the general explaining the detail of the new different place location that they need to go. He told and Specimen 6 head to the other place where they gonna find the survivors. Then tell him it is going to be confirmed. Yes, and then they both need to moving up there fast as they could and they cannot let these people will get killed by predators and other xenomorphs. Roger that, sir. It will be done. He said to him and then he was turn off the radio and make was going back to the huntress and he told her. We need to move right now. He said to her and make her nod her head and she got up from the ground and she was walking along with and then the two of them were walk out of the building by themselves and they are moving out to somewhere. When the two of them are walking and until they sense something else is here and the huntress was about to grab her weapon but raise his left hand up and stop her for what she is doing and he pointing his finger over there and saw. 6. 6, come on over. He said to her and the xenomorph was came to and make her was tries to give him a hug but unexpected a growl comes from Zarya and this make 6 get mad about it and she is gonna fight her. 6, easy, she's with me. He said to her. 6, why is she with you? She asked and he told her. She saved my life and she is, second mate. He said and this make 6 was surprised more for what she heard said and this make 6 want explained to her and he was explaining to her about what happened and then he just tell her the truth about it. After she was heard the words from said and make her nod her head and she believed said and she want to help out too and then told the two of them are gonna be friend and no need to kill each others. 6th Zarya, fine, if she betrayed us, you dealt with it. They said together and this make them surprised with growling and said. Yeah, I know, alright let's get going then. He said to them and make them nod their heads and they are moving out by themselves and then they both are going out to somewhere else in this island. Time skip later. In somewhere else. When the three of them were moving out to the middle of this place, an abandoned place looks like shit and was got the motion tracker and it is activating it on right now. He saw there were 25 multiple contacts in there. There are more of them inside this place that's where are they gonna going right now? Son of bitch. He said and he saw there were all of them in here, and they got the hostages, the scientists who were got surrender by these soldiers and then no these android soldiers have no feeling, they are emotionless and they don't giving a shit about the mankind's feeling. Android Soldier 1, don't move. He said to those victims who were kneel down and prepare for their own fate. Scientist 1, please, man. I have a wife. And 2 children are waiting for me at my home. I want to see them. Please, he said. Scientist 2, you have to let us go. We didn't do anything wrong. He said to him. Android Soldier 2, what is our order, sir? He asked Wayland. Wayland, terminate them, nobody else survive. He said. Android Soldier 2, yes, sir. He said and then he looked back at the other android soldier nod his head mean, do it, and they shot 2 scientists alive and other scientists remain was 5 and shooting at them without mercy. Their screams were horror to motherfuckers. I'm gonna kill them. He said and he used the earpiece and called out. General, it seems too late, those bastards kill those survivors. He said. General, bastards. Alright, you know what to do. Kill them all. He said to and make him was nod his head to them and he look at the 2 mates and make him told them that they need to kill them all right now. Android Soldier 3, target engaged. He shout out to them and then they both tries their best to take down but until killing many of them with the M14 gun. Then will take them out more and he need to kill all of them for what they did to those victims and subjects too. YN won't forgive them for what they did to the scientists and until YN notice there is lot of android soldiers in there by themselves. YN time to clean up, he said to himself. When YN was shooting at these motherfuckers in the heads and then others who were surprises for what they saw their comrades got kills and then the YN was shoot the lights out by himself and the lights were turn off and then everything goes dark by itself and then other android soldiers were shooting at him. But it was missing and too dark in here and they can't see shit and until they were run out of their ammos and tries to reload the weapons but out of nowhere YN who's shooting back at these fuckers. Zarya was doing great to kill these android soldiers and she killed them like berserk and 6 was kill these android soldiers like a wild animal. Then YN was aim his M14 rifle as a sniper and shooting at those motherfuckers like nothing. YN reload. He shout out and he was reload the weapon right away and goes back to shooting at these android soldiers. When YN was with Zarya and 6 killing the rest of these motherfuckers and they didn't notice there was 2 predators are watching at the 3 of them are working together and this make them surprised for what they saw how can be human, xenomorph, and Kyochuu work together. Falconer, what do we do with these 3? Shall we, he tries to said. Berserker, no, not now and here, let's watch them. We'll deal with them later, but there are huge threats coming first. He said to him and then the 2 bad blood predators take off by themselves and they start to hunt whatever they want. Chapter 16, The Birth of Predallion. Third POV. In somewhere else. There was a dark place where the egg chamber is there and something else is here and there were dead bodies all hanging up there and they were got chest burst out by the small aliens comes from their bodies, cause of face hugger. The feral predator was hanging up there and he just can't even move and he was dead and until something else came out of the chest and revealed it out to be new species of xenomorph. Predallion. The creature came out of the chest from feral predator and the small creature was lying down on the ground and it was shook himself and he turned his head to look around and he noticed there was king of xenomorphs was sat on the throne by himself. King, go, my child, find praise and kill them, consume them all to become stronger. He said to the small Predallion baby and this make the small creature nod his head and he begin to moving out by himself and the creature will kill anyone else and get consumed and stronger, growing up and become something worst. King, no one can stop me. I'll take over this world. He said. Time skip later. Back to YN. YN asterisk sigh I'm sorry. You all not deserve for this. He said to himself and make him was looking at the bodies of those scientists that they were been killed by the android soldiers and didn't unexpected for what YN really find out and he need to find Wayland and killed him. Then YN was got up from the ground and then he turned his head to look back at Zarya kill those android soldiers and take their heads off and revealed their heads as her trophies. Also 6 was doing fine, she just mind her own business. YN, well, this is gonna take a while right now, we should get moving on. He told the 2 of them and make the 2 of them were done with these bodies. YN, I hope Katya with the others are going to be alright. He asked himself and the 3 of them were moving up to the other area and they were checking around and make sure that they found anything else here in this place. Nothing that they were found but they just keep moving fast as they could before these predators or xenomorphs gonna be appeared anytime and soon. The 3 of them went to the other building and they both tries to find any evidence around in this room and YN find the files and some evidences of those scientists are working and make sure that YN will give the information to the general right away. Wayland, hello, YN. He said. There was a radio called out and make YN is surprised and he aim his weapon at the radio over there and make YN just heard the voice comes from Wayland. YN Wayland. He said in growl. Wayland. It is me, Mr. LN. I've seen you were checking up with the evidence and files, what exactly are you looking for? He asked YN. YN everything that we are going to stop you for what you did to this world, putting the dangers of innocent people's lives and your company will be shut down. He said to him and this make the man was chuckle and he said. Wayland, you don't understand all about my works, Mr. LN. He said to YN and make him was narrow his eyes at the man's voice and he explaining to YN about what he did is create a new monster and empire for this world and this sick YN up for what he heard the man was speaking about and he is crazy, fucking crazy madman. YN you're a madman, Wayland. He said. Wayland, I'm not a madman. I'm a genius to be madman. He said to YN, no. You're sick person for what I heard about. I think I will kill you where you stand on this island. Mark my words, Wayland. I'll take the king of xenomorphs down and every xenomorphs that you were creating of. He said to him, and then the radio was shut off by YN, shot it with his weapon, and he said, YN, go fuck yourself, Wayland, you're going down. He said to the radio, and then he turned his head to look at his girls and make him told them let's get going right now, and they both just did it right away. Back to Predallion. After the transformation of Predallion was become something big and terrifying and revealed itself to be adult and grown monster. The creature was holding a dead body of Marine soldier that he just killed, and he break the head off from the soldier and let out a roar. Predallion. Roar. Chapter 17. The King of Xenomorphs' Death. 3rd POV. Back to YN. When YN with the Huntress and Xenomorph were walking along by themselves, and they both went to the other location by themselves, and YN was aim his gun around in this place with flashlight on and make sure that anything else around here is moving, and he will blast those motherfuckers heads off, and YN isn't mess around by himself, and same to Zarya with 6-2. YN, geez, this place is big as hell. He said to himself, and make him was walking up with his own feet, and then Zarya with 6 had bad feeling about this place too, but they can sense some xenomorphs appeared here. YN, 6, are you sure this is the place of King is here? He asked her. 6, yes, it is here. She said to YN. YN, alright then. Let's see what's inside this place, and we need to know more about this place. He said to her, and then 3 of them are going out, and they both tries to investigate all around here, and they didn't find anything, but it is too quiet. Until they heard there was a hissing sound comes from somewhere else, and this make YN with 6 and Zarya get their guards off, and they both were look around and make sure is there anything moves around here. YN, I'm getting motion tracker right now. He said to them, and make the 2 of them nod their heads, and then the 3 of them waiting for what happened, and out of nowhere a spit acid comes from over the bridge. Then YN told them to watch out, and make the 3 of them were dodge out of the way, and they were crashed down on the ground, and they turned their heads to look around and make sure that they can see any xenomorphs are here. Out of nowhere one of the xenomorph was gonna spit an acid again, and YN aim his weapon at the creature, and he take a shoot at it. When he shot the creature's head and blast the creature in 2 times and killed it by himself, and then the creature was fall down on the ground, and YN was look at the creature was looks like different than anything for what YN saw. YN, okay, that's new. I never know these xenomorphs can be clever. He said. Zarya, they are become something worst for what we fought, but these things are weakling. She said to YN. YN, yeah, they both are, by the way. Let's get moving out before he tries to set, and they heard more hissing sounds comes from over there, and make them turn their heads to look around, and saw more xenomorphs are appeared by themselves, and they are lurkers. When the xenomorph lurkers appeared, and they both are hissing at YN, Zarya, and 6 that these creatures are surrounding them, and make YN with the 2 mates are prepare for fight these monsters. Then YN with the 2 mates look at each others and nod their heads, and they turn their heads back at those xenomorph lurkers and make the creatures roar out, and they charge at YN with the 2 mates, and this make the 3 of them are working together and fighting many xenomorphs by themselves and killing them all. After they destroy many monsters who stood on their ways, and just like that, they are nothing but the Project King for what Wayland tell YN about. It is going down right now cause they were going to get up there moving, and they need to take down the king of xenomorphs before they create more of these freaking things appeared. YN, we need to going fast as we could right now, we cannot let these bastards grow up more from that king's birth. He said to them, and they both moving out quickly as possible right away, and then YN contact with the general and tell him about the evidence of the king's project was created by Wayland's doing, and now the general was pretty mad about this incident, and he cannot let Wayland do whatever he takes. Time skip later. After the 3 of them were arrived their own destinations, and they both made it there and saw there were 1,000 eggs down there, and that's a lot of them down there, and then YN wasn't like this at all. YN, alright, where's the king? He must be, he tries to set, and heard the noise comes from something else is here, and then YN with the 2 mates turned their heads to look over there, and he saw there was a big giant xenomorph was 34 foot tall, very big as hell. YN, arg, shit. He said to himself. The other two mates saw this and make them seeing this creature is very big and it is big as hell like a giant and other xenomorphs are here and they were got out from the walls and make YN was seen this. When YN was lock and load the weapon up by himself and then YN with the girls seen many of these things appeared here and YN sigh a little bit and he said. YN alright, bring it on then. He said to these xenomorphs and his mates were prepare for fight right away and then they both fighting these things by themselves. When YN was open firing from his M14 rifle and took many xenomorphs out by himself and he was keep shooting and more shooting at these creatures and he blast their heads off with his assault rifle. YN come and get some. He shout out and make him was take them down and he look up and he shooting any of them and make these xenomorphs were got many shots and they both fall down on the ground and dead, with bloods of acid falling all over. Then 6 who was fighting those male xenomorphs beside with YN, the 2 of them are fighting at these male xenomorphs by themselves and YN just killing many of them by himself and 6 was do the same thing. YN eat this. He shout out to them and make him was use the grenades and he throw the 2 grenades at those xenomorphs and blow them up right away. After YN was shooting his M14 rifle and keep shooting and until he was run out of ammos and make him check at the weapon and looks like running out of bullets and ammos. And YN throw the weapon down on the ground and make him just grab the shotgun out of his back behind and he aim his shotgun at these creatures and blast these monsters with his shotgun and blowed their heads off and then YN can take many of them out by himself. Zarya, YN my love. You go ahead. Destroy that thing. She shout out to YN. YN alright, I'm on it. He said to her and make him was gonna running up there and he need to find a weapon to destroy the king of xenomorphs and he cannot let that thing will survive and rule this island. When YN blast his shotgun at those xenomorphs and send them back away from YN and he went to the upstairs by himself and make him was running up there and then he saw there was a weapon down on the ground and he saw it is grenade launcher. When YN was drop the shotgun down on the ground and he grabbed the weapon and make him shooting at the grenade launcher at the monster and blow him up, he blow king of xenomorphs right arm off. The monster roar out in pain by YN's grenade launcher and then YN turned his head to look over there and he saw there was a gas tank over there and it is next closer to the king. YN asterisk if I going to blow the thing up, and it can kill that thing. He thought himself and make him aim the grenade launcher at it and then he take one shot and hit the gas tank and blowed the king of xenomorphs up, and all explosives around here in this cave and then it just blowed many multiple of xenomorphs up. The king of xenomorphs was roaring out in pain because flames all consume at the king and it is killing the monster and make it roar out and let the flames consumed him and he is dying and yes, he is dying right now. This place was gonna burning down right now and YN with 6 and Zarya are going to get out of there fast as they could. Chapter 18, Predalian's Attack. Third POV. Back to Akira. Akira, damn it, this has gone too far. I've been walking for few hours and I couldn't find anything else around here. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. I hope Kamiho's gonna be alright. He said to himself and make him just walking up to somewhere else in this jungle and then he just mind his own business going by himself. When the boy who was tries to walking in the jungle and he need to keep going far away from these animals back there, those things are killing innocent victims and hanging these bodies upside down and skin alive. Akira, asterisk I don't like this, whatever done with these people back there. Something else kill them. He thought himself and make him was walking and keep walking out to somewhere else in this world and the student was tries his best to find a way to survive. Akira, asterisk I need to get up there immediately. He thought himself and when he was walking up there and he saw there was a building over there and make him just surprised for what he found and he saw there was a nearby building. Akira, asterisk AAA building. Must be the survivors are here or anyone else. I need radio or contacting. He thought himself and then he was walking up there by himself and then he just tries to search around and he didn't find anything but there was radio broken and nothing else are in there. But until the student was felt something behind his back and make the soldier was surprised little bit and he knew there is someone else is right behind at him, the gun cocking at him behind and he heard a voice called out sound like robotic. Android Soldier 1, turn around. He told Akira and make the man was turn around and then he saw the android soldier aim his weapon at him. Akira, easy, man. Look I'm not gonna He tries to set and got hit by one of the rifle and make him groan out and he got grabbed by android soldier and toss him to the ground right away and then Akira tries to speak but hitting by the android soldiers. Then they waiting for Wayland's order and prepare to execute Akira right away, and this make Akira was scared like confused about what is going on until he felt a gun aiming at him. Akira, wait. He shout out and he doesn't want to get shot but out of nowhere something just tackled the android soldier and killing him like tear him apart off with his bare hands and the creature was keep killing and tear him like a wild animal. Akira, holy shit, he shout out in surprise. Predallion, roar. When the creature was roar out at those android soldiers who were snapped out of their attention and they focused to shooting at the Predallion and the boy who just start to running away from this monster is behind back there, kill the other android soldiers. Then Akira was run fast as he could and he want to survive from that thing is right behind at him, and the creature is still come after him if he need to survive away from it. The creature looked back at the student who was running away from here fast as he could and the creature was let out another roar and the sound of alpha roar get the other xenomorphs appeared here right away. Then there were horde of xenomorphs will be here right on the time and then they both are chasing at Akira where he really is going. Time skip later. Back to Katya. When Katya was sat there and she is typing her fingers at the computer and she tries to find out about the data computer that Wayland had it. And she want to destroy it before Wayland will activating it up with something sinister and his works too. Then Oribe was felt safe here in this building also the rest of the soldiers are here to protecting them all and then Oribe was sat there and chilling by herself with her friend and she look at the android Katya and she asked her. Oribe, how long you known him, Katya? She asked her. Katya, just 5 weeks later in this Wayland's company. I known him when I spot him who spying Wayland's doing. She said. Oribe, what you say it is truth, but Wayland's plan is crazy. She said. Katya, yes, he's insane, and he want to be a god, he has threatened mankind. The specialist's job must shut Wayland down and terminate him for what he's doing and we cannot let the mankind will be threatened by evil's doing, and must do his mission for this world's sake. She said to her. Oribe, I see, so are we sure that we are gonna be safe here? She asked Katya. Katya, yes, I am positive that we are going to be safe here, but do not worry. General will plan something to bring you guys back to your own home and earth. She said to Oribe. Oribe, what if it don't? She tries to said and Katya told her. Katya, do not worry too much. Will do his best tries to find a portal way to lead you both or get safety, that's his promise. She said to Oribe. Oribe, thank you so much. She said to Katya and then out of nowhere an alarm ringing up right away and make them both were confused but there was in contact coming here and this make the two of them turn their heads to look each others. They both were head out by themselves and they need to know what's going on, and then there were some soldiers aim their weapons at the boy who came out of the jungle. Akira, wait, he shout out and he told them to stop shoot him and he wasn't an enemy and he told the soldiers there is something else behind him and it is coming here right now and something big was came here right away, and this make the soldiers goes their own positions aim their weapons at the front of jungles. This is the best scene right here, the aliens are smart, goddamn smart. Here comes the attack of xenomorphs and they both hear first when the soldiers are definitely notice it and they are shooting at these creatures with their weapons and tries to take them down. Question is, how long are they gonna survive like this? How long are they gonna survive with these xenomorphs? Chapter 19, Wayland's death. Third POV. Back to YN. When YN with the two mates are going out to somewhere else in this world and they both just tries to survive in this island by themselves and now only YN had pistol M1911 gun with him and his weapons running out of ammos and he had only his pistol M1911 gun. Then YN was going out to somewhere else with his two lovely beautiful girlfriends and they both went through the jungle by themselves and they tries to find anything else around here and YN was prepare for what happened next is, shoot those xenomorphs or predators tries to kill him and his mates. Zarya, I spotted there was an empire building, it was long time ago when I got there. She said to YN. YN, really? Where? He asked her. Zarya, I think it is in the front, but we need to be there fast as we could, we cannot let these pathetic humans having our technology. She said to YN. YN, I know that, We will get there fast as we could, but we don't want this island is gonna destroyed. He said. 6. That's what he said. She said. When they both were walking up there fast as they could, and once they were reached there and saw there was a huge building for what they are gonna find out. Holy shit. He said. Zarya, there it is. She said to YN. They both never seen it and looks like huge for what YN with the two mates just saw, and looks like Wayland was here. And YN look over there and he saw there is a vehicle car over there with the machine gun. Wayland is here, and he got his android soldiers with him. He said to them and make them were going up there right away by themselves, and then they both went up there and inside this place, then they both just went in the place. Then YN with the others were going in this place and make sure if there is any android soldiers around here, they need to take their own stealth takedown, and YN told the two of them sneak around in this area and they need to get up there and take these motherfuckers down by themselves. YN, alright, I'll find the other way to get in there. He said, and he went through the big doors and make him went inside there, and he was start to look around and he saw there were android soldiers are there. When YN seen this and make him was lock and loaded the pistol M1911 gun, and he saw Wayland was there too, and he went inside there by himself and make him aim his gun at him. Wayland, you've been made it, specialist. He said, and he was turn around to look and he saw YN was made it here, and he had handgun pointing at Wayland and prepare to shoot. Wayland, I wouldn't do that if I were you. He said to YN, and then the specialist felt the gun is aiming behind his head and uncloak himself and revealed another android soldier was an invisible, had power of predator. YN, son of A. He said. Wayland, I'll take that. He said, and he grabbed the pistol gun comes from YN, and he was load the weapon up right away and prepared to shoot YN, and the madman was explaining the detail of xenomorph and the future for what he tries to do. But YN doesn't like it at all, and this psychopath motherfucker losing out of his own mind, and the specialist was waiting for that motherfucker shoot him, and turns out he was running out of ammo from the magazine that YN take it out, and bullets too. YN, you're fucked. He said, and punched the android soldier behind him, and YN take his other weapons out and revealed dual guns and make him shooting his weapons at the android soldier. YN, eat this. He shout out to these android soldiers and begin to shooting his dual guns at those android soldiers. Wayland, kill him. He shout out to them and make the android soldiers were shooting their weapons at YN, but he take a dodge from the attack, and YN was aim his dual guns at those soldiers and shooting at them. Then YN went in there that he take a cover for himself and make him prepare to look out for these android soldiers, cause he know them are dangerous and he need to take them down. And when he was got in there and he need some weapons, and he saw there was an assault rifle and shotgun, same like the first one and second one that he just take it. YN, he, not bad, he said to himself, and then he load the weapon up right away and make him was got the weapons in his hands and ready for the weapons to shoot out. Imagine John Wick as YN killing many android soldiers by himself. When YN was killing the rest of those gangsters by himself, and he just like one fucking man army killing many cyborgs like that, and then YN put his submachine gun on the ground, and then YN take the shotgun comes out from his back, and then he was load the shotgun immediately and prepare to shoot out. YN, time for an action. He said to himself. When YN was load the weapon up right away, and then he start to moving out in this building and make him begin to sneak inside here, and he prepare to killing those freaking android soldiers tries to stop him. Then YN turn his head to look over there and seen Six and Zarya got their bloods covered by themselves, and they were done killing those gangsters back there, and it seems YN just smirked up and he saw the two of them were done quickly to killing these bad guys back there. YN, alright, let's do this. He said to them and make them were nod their heads, and then they both were moving up there by themselves and prepare to fight and kills many android soldiers by themselves. Imagine Jean Van Claude Dam as YN use the shotgun scene. When YN with Zarya and Six done slaughtering all many gangsters and thugs that they both were lying down on the ground, and then YN was with the alien women done killing many of these motherfucking android soldiers. Then YN was throw the shotgun down on the ground and make him take his dual guns out and load the weapons up right away, and then YN look around and he need to search the bastard Wayland. YN, you two going out now. Wayland's mine. He said to them, and then they can do whatever they want is killing the rest of these motherfucking android soldiers. Wayland. I'm coming for you. You heard me. ! I'm going to kill you. He shout out to him and make the bastard heard the yelled of and make him was chuckle little bit and then just keep going upstairs and make saw Wayland was there and he shooting his gun at Then the two of them release out gunfire with pistols and shooting their weapons at each others, and then they keep shooting and finally was aim his pistols and shooting at Wayland in the chest with multiple times. Was shooting at Wayland with his pistols and make him keep shooting at the motherfucker many times and seems the bastard is still standing right there and he was chuckling out. Wayland, you can't kill me. He shout out and then put his guns back to his gun holsters and he take his revolver out. How about this? He shout out to him. When was use his revolver aiming at Wayland and blast his weapon at the motherfucker's left and right arm off and finally he keep shooting at him. Wayland got blast in the right side of his head and make him was scream out in pain and recognize this madman isn't a human, an android, but the question is, where's the real one? The android, Wayland, was stepped back and he was tripped that he is falling backward and make him was falling all over to the larva and make him was splashes down on the larva and the bastard is screaming and keeps screaming out in pain as the android, Wayland, was melting and melting by the larva is killing him right now. Then was sigh little bit and make him look at the bastard as finally death and went reload his revolver. Zarya and Six appeared here right on the time and they both were checking at their mate out and make them sure there is anything happened to him. 6. Is he dead? This one is fake, but the question is, where is he? Chapter 20, Captured. 3rd POV. Back to Katya. Katya, everything is gonna be alright. Just stay calm and staying here from now on. She said to them and the survivors who were fear as hell and they don't know what to do but they want to live and survive by themselves and Katya know them are scared and they don't want to die. Then they both heard many gunshots comes from outside there and whatever it is and they don't even liking it and all they have to do is stay in there, and it is for their own safety and they are gonna be safe here. Miura, are we gonna be alright? She asked Katya. Katya, I am not so sure, Miura, but everything is gonna be fine. She said to Miura. Miura, I don't want to die. She said. Matsuoka, it's alright, Miura, everything is gonna be fine, we're safe here. She said to them and then they both heard gunshots keep coming and more coming until they heard the door was banging and keep banging. Then they were scared as hell and they saw the door was burst opened out and then something else was here and revealed itself is Predator. Berserker. Growling, he was growling out and this scared the crap out of the survivors. Katya, no it can't be, she tries to set in backhanded by Berserker and then he look at the survivors and lift his hand up and prepare to grab them. Chapter 21, Predalion's Death. 3rd POV. Back to When was kill Wayland and that motherfucker was finally death and melted down by the larva and then just glad that fucker is dead already and make is sigh out little bit and he turn his head to look around and all many android soldiers that they were been killed by Zarya and Six. The two of them killing the rest of android soldiers and make sure that they are dead already and now with the two of them are gonna return back to the base right away and find a new weapon on the ground and make him was whistle out. Oh baby. He said to himself and he grabbed the weapon from the ground and what he is holding is MG6 rifle, the machine gun. When load the weapon up and make him was chuckle that he liked this weapon and looks like the best version of MG45 and then was put the weapon behind his back and make sure that he needs something else. He grabbed the grenades and then a katana sword lying on the table. Then grab it in his hand and make him was look at the sword that he is gonna kill and cut anything else who stood on his way and then he tries to contacting the radio with him. But the general won't answer and he tries again and more again and then heard the earpiece with loud gunshots comes from something else is there, and he definitely thinking this isn't good, and he need to get there fast as he could. Girls, I think we should get going right now. We need to get there fast as we could and we cannot let these xenomorphs out there and tries to take over the world. He said to them and make them nod their heads. 6. How are we gonna get there? It is too far over there. She said to and make him was thinking and then he need to tries thinking in his head and make him turn his head to look over there and he saw there was a ship over there. I think we just found our ride right now. He said to them and make them turn their heads to look at the vehicle over there, and that's where are they gonna going right now, and that is dropship, and that's where are they gonna get on. Then he told them to get in there and make the three of them went in there and then hop inside the dropship and turn it on and make him was flying out to the base where the colonial marines were there, and he need to get there fast as he could because these xenomorphs will kill his girlfriend Katya. Time skip later. In base. When YN was with Six and Zarya made it right on the time, and they both were saw many xenomorphs down there, and then YN seen this and make him was use the warship with weapons and shooting at the motherfuckers down there by himself. Then YN just shooting his weapons at these monsters and killing many multiple of these fuckers and torn their bodies apart off, and then YN used the rocket launchers and shot at these xenomorphs and blew their bodies and killing the rest of them by himself. After YN land dropship down on the ground and he saw the Marines were shooting their weapons at those xenomorphs, they lost 34 people were been killed by these xenomorphs, and YN seen this and he want to help them out too. YN arg, shit. He said to himself. The other two mates saw this and make them seeing this creature is very big, and it is big as hell like a giant, and other xenomorphs are here and they were got out from the walls and make YN was seen this. When YN was lock and load the weapon up by himself, and then YN with the girls seen many of these things appeared here, and YN sigh a little bit and he said. YN alright, bring it on then. He said to these xenomorphs, and his mates were prepare for fight right away, and then they both fighting these things by themselves. When YN was open firing from his MG6 rifle and took many xenomorphs out by himself, and he was keep shooting and more shooting at these creatures, and he blast their heads off with his MG6. YN come and get some. He shout out and make him was take them down, and he look up and he shooting any of them and make these xenomorphs were got many shots and they both fall down on the ground and dead, with bloods of acid falling all over. Then Six who was fighting those male xenomorphs beside with YN, the two of them are fighting at these male xenomorphs by themselves, and YN just killing many of them by himself, and Six was do the same thing. YN killing many of them and he just take many of them down by himself, and then YN with the two mates killing the rest of these motherfuckers and take many of them out, and none of them gonna walk away from here. Then YN was shooting at the big one with horn head, rhino xenomorph, and the creature is charged toward it YN and make him seen this, and he tries to take it down with his weapon and shooting at the weapon, and then YN need to kill it with his machine gun. Full auto killing this monster, and the creature was got many shots, and then the creature fall down on the ground. It's his chance to kill it, and YN was grab the grenade from his pants pocket and charge toward it. The creature shove it on the mouth and make him was back away from the creature, and the creature got his head blow up like clean off and make him was sigh little bit, and he heard the other roar comes from something else is here. YN shit. He said to himself, and he look over there and he saw the creature was big and looks like xenomorph with predator hybrid. When YN saw the creature appeared here and make him tries to find a way to kill this creature, and he look at Zarya was fighting at the Predallion, and YN got a great idea. He went to that thing right there, and it is a machine that he is gonna using it. Then YN was hop on and make him was start the engine of this robot for what he is gonna controlling it, and make him use the machine fighting at the Predallion. YNEY. Ugly. He shout out and make him was turn around to look, and he saw YN and make the motherfucker smile up, and he said. YN get away from her, motherfucker. It's you and me. Come on. He shout out to the monster. Imagine Ripley as YN fighting Queen as Predallion scene. Then he grabbed the Predallion and make him lift him up and do the backbreaker, and he snapped Predallion's back and ripped the body off of Predallion, and he throw the two body down on the ground. Chapter 22, Falconer Predator vs Specialist. 3rd POV. Back to YN. When YN was driving the dropship and he begin to moving out to somewhere else, and he need to find the survivors, and he cannot leave them behind, and his duty must protect them, and he doesn't want them to get killed by the predator, and YN is pretty much to be pisses off right now, and he really killed these two son of bitches for what they were done, and YN got his two mates with him. Then YN went to the location where he need to get there, and make YN was prepared to get up there, and he need to face these predators by himself. After YN made it the destination already, and he was prepared to land his dropship down on the ground, and it just did. Then YN stepped out of the dropship and his two mates came out of the dropship. YN let's split up, we can go separate with our ways. He said to them and make them were nod their heads and they both just did it and then YN went off to somewhere by himself and he got the katana sword with him. Alright, I think I can use the sword with myself. He said to himself and make YN was clench the katana sword and he just prepare for the weapon to fight and until there was an invisible of predator appeared here right away. Then the predator was appeared right on the time and make YN was goes his own fighting stance by himself and he was holding the katana sword by his hand. YN alright, bring it. He said to himself. Imagine samurai as YN fighting predator scene. After YN was fighting the predator already and he got his back scratched by the falconer predator and it was pretty hurt badly and YN was sigh out little bit and he grabbed something from the pants pocket. And it is a stim health and make him stabbed it in his shoulder and make him was sigh out little bit to hisses out and disappeared the pain. Damn, I'm feeling good. He said to himself and make him just got up from the ground and he start to walking away from here and begin to moving out by himself and he need to search the survivors. Chapter 23, Final Fight. Third POV. Back to YN. When YN was running and he keep running out to somewhere else in this world and make him tries to thinking about there is other way to get there fast as he couldn't YN really want to get there and find the survivors by himself. After he went there and make YN was saw the nest where the survivors are captured and they both notice YN is here and make YN was running toward to them and then they tries to called him out and make him run to them and then he use a katana sword and cutting down at the nest and rip the nest off right away. After YN cut the nest off by himself and make him was look at the survivors and he told them to get in there right away. The dropship and it allowed them to take there fast as they could and then the general had already planned a big ship for these survivors that they can going back to their own home. The portal machine that YN activating it on when he found Wayland doing with it and it is the only way to flying up there. When YN heard the growl over there and make him was turn around and he saw Berserker Predator is here and make YN was seen this and he told them to run right now. They both are running away from here and leave YN was fighting with the Berserker Predator by himself. Imagine Royce as YN fighting Berserker Predator scene. YN asterisk huffing, he was huffing out and he was tired. Pretty tired for what he just been through and killing the rest of these Yautjas and monsters in this world and then YN just stood right there and looking down at the Berserker Yautja was got his right arm cut off by YN's katana weapon. Then YN was breathing out little bit and make him look at the Berserker Yautja was breathing and keep breathing out little bit and he look up at YN who was holding the katana sword with samurai style. After YN cut the head of Berserker Predator and make him was cough bloods out of his mouth and he start to walking toward to there by himself and then YN just begin to moving the other way and he was felt tired and he had a big bruises all over himself and bloods comes down from his left side of head. When YN was sigh little bit and make him was turn his head to look up and he saw the ship. Yes, the ship where the survivors are up there by themselves, and YN look up there and group of survivors were inside the ship. Mitsumi Oribe, Inu Chitose Naruse, Kazuhiko Kai, Ayumi Matsuoka, Amiko, Kai, and Akira that they both were in there and looked down at YN who was stood right there and make him raise his hand up and give them a thumb up and he smile at them. The ship was fly up and passes through the portal right away. When the specialist was walk up to the tree by himself and make him was walk up there and he sat down on the ground and make him a sigh little bit and he said. YN I believe it is over now. He said to himself and make him was grab the pack of cigarette box from his pants pocket and he is holding it in his hand and then he put the cigarette in his mouth and then he got the lighter in his hand and make him was flip it on and then he was light the cigarette up from his mouth. YN asterisk sigh, he was sigh out little bit and make him was sigh out to the sky and he was sat there and chilling until he heard the footsteps coming here and loud footsteps came here and make YN turn his head to look on the right side and he saw her. His lovely female Yautja beautiful was came here, 6 feet 5 foot tall very big. Zarya and she had a hole on her left side from her stomach and broken left arm and make YN look at her and he said. YN Zarya. He said to her and she was walk up to him and sat down beside with him and he look at her who is breathing out little bit and she sat there and put her head lean against it YN's head. Zarya. Growling glad you kill that bastard. She said to YN. YN yep, I killed him for what he tries to kill me, you, and 6. He said to her and make her was smile up and she was grab his chin and make him turn to look at her and she pulled him into kiss little bit. When the two of them are kissing and keep kissing and they heard the movement with loud hisses and make the two of them turn their heads to look over there and saw Six who is crawling toward to YN and Zarya. Six was an female xenomorph who is crawling toward to YN and Zarya that the female xenomorph was got her left leg blown up and only one leg is right and make her hisses out to YN and she is crawling toward to YN and when she was closer and make her wrapped her arms around YN's neck and she put her head on the crook of his neck and YN was smoking the cigarette in his hand and keep smoking. YN ha ha hey hey hey. He was chuckling out little bit. YN well, let's just say it is finally over right now. He said to himself. Dot dot dot. 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 In post-credit ending, when there was dark room and then there was a figure heard the calls comes from the phone and he answered it and he said. Yes, he said. You have it. When? Good, bring it to me, because I have something special to do with this data. He said with an evilly smirk on his face and revealed real Wayland. Carl, it is here. I am close. Dot dot dot. 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 The end. And this is the end of this amazing Halloween special. I hope you guys like it. Do not forget to leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.